Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
Hey, this is John Grillo, the Bagel Man. You know I love bagels. I don't settle for frozen bagels. That's why we make our bagels right here in Greenville from scratch every day. If you're coming into Bagel Man, you'll notice that there's some renovation going on. Our menu is bigger and better than ever. Our sandwiches, heroes, subs, salads, wraps, bagel dogs, fresh baked pastries, and our new coffee bar. Soon we're going to be opening for dinner. Don't forget Bagel Man for all your catering needs on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Hey Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
There's no cuss word in that, Shirley.
No.
I'm the one that said you cussed. I thought you cussed.
He's the one that said you cussed, and you said that it wasn't a cuss word, and I was arguing that.
There was no nothing in there.
I know. I was just arguing the fact that you said it wasn't.
Totally clean.
Just like the snap.
I see what you're trying to do.
What?
You're trying to hurt my reputation over there, aren't you? CJ, get back into that seat.
I don't know where this segment is
making
going.
The football team, you can't even make first string producer.
Wow.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Sustained effort and violence.
There's local politics, bud.
I don't care about the weather. I can't control the weather. Don't want to talk about the weather.
Do we not agree?
Was that supposed to be funny?
Cool, neat story.
It can be a total goat rodeo.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, hello, and welcome in to Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday, January the 4th. Welcome back to you and to us here, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, CJ Schaefer, inside the Pirate Radio studios. A lot of guests to get to on today's program on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can still find us on 1250 and 930, also online, PR927fm.com. You can watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube and chime in there with your questions and comments. will interact with you on today's program. You can give us a call, 317-1250, or reach out to us on Twitter as well. We've got a lot to get to. Planning to hook up with Joe Dooley here in hour number one, the head basketball coach of the Pirates, as East Carolina scheduled to play Wednesday night against Tulane. We know how that goes. East Carolina going through some COVID issues, hoping to get back on the court. And we'll talk to Joe Dooley in just a moment right here on the program. Coming up later on this hour, we'll talk some Hornets basketball with Spencer Percy from the Buzzbeat podcast. Hornets off to a rough start to 2022. Got blown out by the Suns on Sunday. Turned around last night, had a chance to win on the road against Washington, came up short. So 0-2 to start the new year for Charlotte. They are in even 19-19 on the season. We'll talk about that with Spencer Percy later on. Jeff Nadu will join us in hour number two to talk about college basketball slate tonight from a gambling perspective. A lot of games going on tonight. We'll look at some NFL college football as well. Seymour joins us in hour number two to talk some hoops, and Stephen Igoe hoist the colors coming up in hour three. But right now, we'll kick off the show with the head basketball coach of the East Carolina Pirates. Joe Dooley joins us on the Pirate Radio Live Line. Coach, we appreciate your time. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, doing fantastic, Coach. The $1 million question you've been asked 100 times this week, and we'll throw it out here 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Are the Pirates playing basketball Wednesday night? Is it headed in the right direction at least, Coach?
We hope so, and I hear all the betting lines. I bet you Vegas has lines on whether games are being played or not. The way things should go, but I think we're heading in the right direction, hopefully. And I say this in a positive. Hopeful, but it is hour to hour change. But I think we're trending in the right way.
We turned out last Wednesday, we were getting ready to head over to Minji's on Wednesday night, and we learned early afternoon that game was not going to be able to get played. So how, close to tip-off, Coach, will you know if you're going to have enough to be ready to go?
I mean, I think it's like I said, it's a crazy deal. I think we're trending the right way. I think we're in a pretty good spot. I never say absolutely about anything. But I do think we're in a pretty good spot, and going that way. But last week was a little bit different. I think what people don't understand is contact tracing can still be in play, so those affect some numbers. Now the CDC, as well as the American and the SEC and the Pac-12, shortening the isolation, it also helps because more become available.
Coach, you've been away from games these past couple of games to open up conference play. How about practice? How much practice have your guys been able to get in?
Until today, we won't have practiced as a team with the guys that are playing until today. So that's been a little different. We've been able to do a couple of, we were off for a couple of days until we got, until we got everything, until everybody got tested and got all the results back. Then with that, we were able to do a day or two where we just did some individual stuff, and one day we were able to do some, as we progressed, we were able to do some 4-on-4 stuff, and today will be the first day that we were able to really essentially practice with the guys that are going to play tomorrow.
Well, you were able to get 12 games under your belt and go unscathed in the non-conference as far as getting games in. 9-3 start to the season, so you've got plenty of games in, plenty of time in with your players, but with this layoff, are you concerned about rust? Are you concerned about conditioning, or do you expect your guys to pick it right back up and get back to basketball?
Oh, we're concerned about both, the conditioning and the rust. I mean, these guys are finally trained athletes, and when you have more than a day, I mean, you would laugh, and it sounds weird, but the day after a day off is usually a little bit rough to start practice because their bodies are so finely tuned to do things. And when they have a day off, it gets a little wacky. But when you start throwing 3 or 4 or 5 days off, the biggest thing you worry about is conditioning, and the conditioning affects the timing. And then you also worry about injuries. I mean, I think when you see with these NBA guys, a lot of these guys are coming out of COVID protocols, and they give them a week or so to ramp up. And I think some of the things when you look around, that's one of the biggest concerns is the injury factor. And I think that's something that we are definitely concerned about.
And knocking on wood here, Coach, but it sounded like heading into the Southern Miss game, injuries and your guys, getting healthy, getting fresh, that was not an issue. You guys were getting healthier. So away from COVID, from a health standpoint, bumps and bruises, is your team in pretty good shape right now?
from that standpoint, great shape. I mean, as we're healthy from a basketball standpoint, I think we're looking forward to getting all the pieces back together and getting them, but then getting some practices in. That was one of the weird deals. We came back from Christmas and we were able to get a couple practices in. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of a setback, but right about now, you'd really like to be having your 2 hours a day and getting your work in and getting the guys in routine. And the day before the game, you're 90 minutes in and getting a little bit of a routine, but it isn't. So you adjust, try to figure things out, and have to adjust on the fly, which is what part of our job is.
Yeah, I know you guys are hoping to get back to that midweek weekend routine of games. How about the previous two games, Wichita State and South Florida? Any decision there, Coach? Are you going to try to play those games at some point this regular season?
Well, we're working with the league and with South Florida and Wichita State. We do have a bye week. Sometimes the dates don't match with their bye week with either Wichita State or South Florida. We'll stay in communication with the league. I think, as you've seen, some of the other leagues have been able to switch games around. I mean, I believe the Pac-12 is flipping a bunch of games this week because they've had some people shut down. I know UCLA and USC have been shut down, and they were trying to flip a couple of those games. Stanford shut down. So I do think that the league is in constant communication with all the schools about who's in play and who's maybe a little shelved for a little bit. But I also think that we also talked about, I think, the shortening of these of the isolation and the recovery period will have more guys back quicker if they're asymptomatic.
Joe Dooley joining us. Some teams have been able to get some games in, and one of those teams is Tulane, who you'll be seeing coming up on Wednesday night. And you've been around for a long time. I've watched games forever, Coach, so I know that upsets happen and inconsistent play happens. And Tulane, it's tough to explain their non-conference and then coming out and beat Memphis and Cincinnati. But right now, they're playing some great basketball, 2 great wins to start this conference season.
Yeah, played really well, and they went through it early. I mean, they were shut down for a little bit pre-Christmas, and they've fought back, and they've got all their guys. I thought they played really well against a little bit better against Charleston. They lost the close game to Charleston just before Christmas, or the last game they played, and then Memphis, they played really well. I thought they played with a lot of energy, and the first half of the Cincinnati game, they were spectacular.
Got Tulane coming up Wednesday night. East Carolina hoping to get back on the hardwood, and then we'll be on the road in Philadelphia against Temple. Joe Dooley joining us. Coach, wanted to ask you about a couple of freshmen, and we've talked about R.J. Felton and Brandon Johnson, how they've played so far, and you want those guys to get better as the season goes along, but there's also that mythical freshman wall, and we talk about it a lot in football when true freshmen kind of get beyond the amount of games they play in high school and how they're banged up at the end of the year. How about basketball? How much is that a real thing, Coach, when you start playing all these games when you're not used to it? I guess more so in Felton's case than a Brandon Johnson case.
Well, I think what happens is, the guy hitting R.J. Felton in high school is 5'11", 165 pounds on a screen, and now it's Duran at Memphis, or it's one of these big guys, Udeze at Wichita State, and that guy is 6'10" and he's 245 pounds, and he's angry. So that wear and tear, just the ability, having to stay in a stance, having even when you drive and get hit or getting through screens, I think it does wear and tear. That's why I did like where we were physically, but I just think that being able to do it mentally, the travel's different, the amount of travel is different, the distance is different, the arenas are different. So seeing things for the first time is also very different.
Joe Dooley joining us. Coach, I know last year you had to be away from the team, and you told us you did a lot of bike riding and just tried not to let yourself go crazy being away from the team and away from basketball. So how about, during this break, what have you been doing? Watching basketball? I guess you had some Christmas time with the family. How have you dealt with this break away from playing games?
No, well, the genius that I am, we were off the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, so I got ahead and did all my Tulane Wichita State and South Florida scouting. Was able to watch 3 or 4 games on each team to try to get ahead. I watched Tulane early because, with quick turnaround, sometimes you don't have as much time, or it saves you time to get ahead and be more efficient, get ahead of the scout. And we had the Wichita State to South Florida as well as the Tulane pre-scout done, so we did all that. And then obviously last week was disappointing, and wasn't like we had time. We're trying to figure out who was in, who was out, return dates, testing, just all those type of deals, trying to get organized and try to keep your guys' spirits up.
Joe Dooley joining us, Coach. If you are able to go on Wednesday night, do you have any idea what kind of roster you're going to have available? Will it be a full slate for you?
We won't have everybody, no, but I mean that was to be expected. So we'll hopefully things keep going like they have the last couple of days. We'll add a guy or two today to practice, which we haven't had, so that'll be good. And we'll try to, we're getting the biggest thing like we talked about is conditioning. We'll probably have to sub a little bit more often than previously, and which is part of it, just to try to keep guys fresh and try to keep guys from not getting banged up.
Well, I know you coaches enjoy a challenge, right? Is this how about coaching in these times, these last couple of years, Coach? How just difficult mentally has it been on you guys?
Well, I think when you look at it, I don't like it. It's the reality of it. But the thing about it is, you could sit and feel sorry for yourself. This is terrible, which is, but it's affecting mankind. It's just not affecting Pirate basketball or our players. And you're sitting there saying, you got to be a little bit more creative. At 10 o'clock in the morning, you can put a practice plan together, and we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And at 2:30 in the afternoon, you're trying to recalibrate it, and now you're playing 3-on-3. So there are variables. When you don't have 10 guys, how do you work on some things? You don't have. We have 7 or 8 guys. At one point last year, we had 4. So now it's trying to figure out how to be creative and how not to get the guys hurt, how to get them in shape, keep them in shape, and all those things are variables.
With the time off, Coach, were you assistants able to follow these, holiday tournaments? A lot of games going on, a lot of teams, a lot of players in one building. Were you? I'm sure you kept an eye on them at least, right?
Guys went out. We were recruiting. Evaluating some of the guys seeing some of the guys we've been recruiting, and look at some of the younger players. And the tournaments, obviously, we're in an area where there's a lot of great high school tournaments, which is awesome because you can drive, and we hit some of those things in the Northeast and a little bit north of us also, which was great.
Good deal. Joe Dooley joining us today on the Pirate Radio Live Line. Coach, really hoping we can see you Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in Minges, East Carolina and Tulane, scheduled to go Wednesday at 7. We appreciate your time today, Coach, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. There is Joe Dooley joining us on the Pirate Radio Live Line. I guess somewhat optimistic about basketball Wednesday night at 7. Don't exactly know who's going to be available, but he's just ready to roll the ball out and play a game. And I don't know if I should say a good Tulane team, but a hot Tulane team coming off wins over Memphis and on the road at Cincinnati. And as Joe Dooley said, they've kind of already went through their deal with COVID and their layoff because they had a stretch, and I'll pull it up here, where they missed at least 2 games, maybe 3 games on the schedule right before entering conference play and going on this little hot streak here. So they had lost 3 in a row to Toledo, Valpo, and Charleston. They beat Alcorn State and lost to Charleston again, losing to them twice. Texas A&M, Grambling State, New Orleans, all those games were canceled. So they did not play, kind of like East Carolina, for 2 weeks, from December 14th to the 29th. They played again on the 29th. That's when they knocked off Memphis last week. And then this past weekend went on the road and beat Cincinnati by 8 points, 68-60. So a 2-0 start to Tulane. Now you've got East Carolina, who went on a similar hiatus from the court, and they come back. So maybe they come back playing well like Tulane was able to do. But hopefully some basketball coming up Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in Minges Coliseum. At least it's trending that way, as you heard Joe Dooley say, that, looks like if things keep going the way they are, we'll be watching some hoops coming up on a Wednesday night. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll rehash that. If you have any questions, comments on Pirate Hoops or anything else, you can chime in on Facebook Live, Twitter, YouTube, or give us a call, 317-1250. A lot to touch on in the world of sports, and we'll talk about it all when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Christmas has come and gone, so bring in the new year with the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute band, Slippery When Wet.
It's my life, it's now or never.
One night only at the Bob Martin Ag Center in Williamston, Saturday, January 15th. Advance tickets just $25 at innovativeticketing.com. 30 at the door. Hear your favorite Bon Jovi hits for one night only, Saturday, January 15th at the Bob Martin Ag Center in Williamston. Advance tickets just $25 at innovativeticketing.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com, or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
Hey Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? Well, CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a 6-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, welcome back into the show. Clip Rock here with you. We got some news from ECU Athletics. ECU Athletics and Playfly Sports will begin a multimedia rights partnership. Playfly Sports on the Playfly Sports Network.
So long, Learfield IMG.
So long, Learfield IMG's Clip Rock on the Playfly Sports Network.
Playfly.
I don't like that name, Playfly. Shoefly.
Yeah. Don't bother me.
Playfly.
Don't bother me.
Don't
play with me.
So anyway, John Gilbert said, quote, "We are excited about today's announcement of Playfly Sports as our new multimedia rights partner." End quote.
That's just an odd name. It just doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Playfly. Playfly Sports.
You're listening to Pirate Basketball on Playfly Sports Network.
Because you know somebody's going to fumble that word.
Playfly.
Yeah.
Playfly.
Playfly.
So there you go. For those that care, we'll just spreading the news. Just spreading the good news.
Start spreading the news.
We're gonna be Playfly.
I'm leaving today.
Actually, summer of 2022, East Carolina will be on.
Wow. Oh, so when the Pirates are in Omaha
on the Playfly Sports Network.
Yeah.
The state ECU game will be on
the Playfly.
Playfly Sports Network.
See, I almost said it.
Playfly.
No, I want to say Playfly. Not. I keep leaving that L off.
Fly.
Maybe Stephen Igoe.
That's a lot.
How many years were we with Learfield IMG?
I don't know.
Quite a few.
I don't know.
Because it was IMG, then it went to Learfield IMG, and then they dropped the IMG and just went with Learfield.
And now we're with Playfly. So looking forward to being part of the Playfly family. Family. The Playfly family. We'll see. Stephen Igoe can tell us what all this means when he joins us. Coming up today at 5 o'clock. Seymour in hour 2. Jeff Nadu in hour number 2 as well. Spencer Percy later on this hour to talk some Charlotte Hornets basketball. And look around the NBA. Disappointing loss last night by Charlotte, Chan Man.
Yeah.
Has had a lead late and lost to Bradley Beal.
What a fun second quarter that was.
It was like 38-19, something like that. Hornets outscored the Wizards, took a lead in the halftime.
And it was a fun end to the game, but it wasn't fun for Hornets fans.
It was fun for C.J. Schaefer last night because the Pittsburgh Steelers won on Big Ben's last hurrah at Heinz Field. Let's look at the playoff scenarios if the playoffs began this weekend, which they would have in every other year, but there's a Week 18 this year. The Tennessee Titans. Touchdown Titans. How about some Mike Keith playoff calls coming up, Chandler?
Yes, sir. We heard some. We've had some Mike Keith playoff calls the past couple of years.
And how about Derrick Henry is supposed to have come back, right?
Yeah, he should be coming back soon. Yeah.
Yeah, they how about a boost to that team, getting Derrick Henry back? The Titans would be the top seed and getting a bye in the first round. Here would be your matchups wild card weekend. Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals at home against the Colts, and part 3 of the trilogy between the Bills and the Patriots. Love it. Love all of it. Colts or Bengals, one of them guaranteed to be in the divisional round if these standings hold true. Now, some things can still happen. The Chargers play the Raiders in a winner-take-all game. So the winner of Chargers-Raiders will be in the playoffs. Chandler, we saw this scenario floating around. So that game is Sunday night. Jaguars and Colts play earlier in the day. If the Colts lose to the Jaguars and the Chargers and Raiders tie,
they both make the playoffs.
They both get in. I guess they would win a tiebreaker over Pittsburgh. Has that been factored in? Okay, so that is a yes. So, Colts lose to the Jags. So that could never happen. How about the Colts hadn't won?
There's a stat to consider.
There is a huge stat to consider.
Consider.
Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So, just throwing that out. And
the House of Horrors.
And they have Carson Wentz at quarterback. House of Horrors on the Playfly Sports Network. So, okay, where did the Steelers come into all this? So, the Chargers-Raiders is going to have a loser unless they do the handshake deal and tie so they can both make the playoffs. So, one of them will lose. So, if the Colts lose And then the loser of the Chargers-Raiders, that team will be out. Steelers win, they're in. That's how all that has to work out. The Steelers play the
Baltimore Ravens.
They play the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens have been... Are the Ravens still alive? I don't see an E by their name.
CJ says no.
I don't see an E beside the Ravens name. No. Let me look up a Ravens playoff scenario here. Ravens.
They're still alive, but I think they're like the last possible team that could.
Well, they're definitely the least possible team. Ravens playoff chances are slim. Here's the path. Let's see. Baltimore has a 3% chance of making the playoffs. So what is the path? The Ravens need to beat the Steelers. They need the Browns to lose on Monday Night Football. Well, that happened. The Colts to lose to Jacksonville. Miami to lose or tie to New England. That could happen. Chargers lose to the Raiders. So somehow the Ravens could still get in. But it's a lot of stuff that has to happen. We'll count them out for now. So looks like it's going to come down to Colts, Steelers, and the two West teams, Chargers and the Raiders. Looking forward to Chargers-Raiders Sunday night. They always put the last game of the regular season. It's always a division game, and it always has some playoff implications. Last year, it was Washington and Philly when Philly took out Jalen Hurts and put in Nate Sudfeld, and it was the worst game of all time.
I remember that.
And the Eagles basically handed Washington a playoff spot on a silver platter. And that will not be the case this year because both the Raiders and the Chargers have something to play for.
It is the Battle of the Pirates Sunday night. Zay Jones and Linval Joseph. On the Playfly Sports Network.
Speaking of the Playfly Sports Network, Josh Thomas says, Clip, when are they going to announce a new baseball announcer? I don't know, Josh.
Good question.
I asked Malcolm Gray that question on Saturday. And
neat question.
He didn't have an official answer for me yet.
Cool, neat story.
We need somebody to say, safe!
Mike P. says, you can paint this one Playfly purple.
Mike P. is starting the year off strong.
Yeah, he is. Picking up where he left off last year. So there you go. That's the AFC. NFC, the Green Bay Packers, I think, have clinched number one. They have. The playoffs goes through Lambeau on the NFC side. The Rams, if the playoffs started today, would be the 2, taking on the Eagles. Eagles are ugly. It's an ugly playoff team.
Kind of like the Washington football team last year?
Pretty much, yes. Tampa against San Fran, and Dallas, Arizona, a rematch of what we just saw. And Kyler Murray does not lose in Jerry World. That is a stat to consider. 8-0 lifetime. And would be looking to go to 9-0. Now, you want to talk about an ugly playoff team. The Saints are still alive.
How?
Shirley Rhodes from left field.
How exactly are the Saints still alive in all of this?
The Saints play the Falcons, and the 49ers play the Rams, I believe. So with a Niners loss and a Saints win, I think the Saints are in. And that, is a likely scenario. It's Niners at Rams coming up. So the Saints right now sitting at 8-8, could get to 9-8, and you could have a really ugly playoff on the NFC side if the Saints and Eagles get in. Saints would be the worst playoff team, right? I mean, Taysom Hill stinks.
Terrible.
You watched him the other day.
He was great game when Drew Brees was the quarterback, and he was kind of like your utility guy. But now that he's the quarterback, he has just not shown what I thought
I shouldn't
he
say
would be.
Taysom Hill stinks. I should say Taysom Hill, the quarterback, stinks. Taysom Hill, the football player, is a very valuable football player to have on your team.
I mean, but I agree. It's better than what we saw a couple of weeks ago when they played Shirley's Miami Dolphins when we watched Ian Book just absolutely stink it up. So
Yeah.
you got to go with Taysom Hill, but it's definitely not the best option.
I mean, you hate to write a guy off early in his career, but I think you could say the book's been written on Ian.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That was a good one. Oh, man.
I think you could say the book's been written on Ian. Thank you.
Sorry.
No problem. So there's your playoff scenarios. I am very excited about these playoffs. My team won't be in it. Chandler's team won't be in it. Shirley's team won't be in it. And CJ's,
We were so close.
CJ's team needs some help, but he says no, they're not going to be in it either. Mike Tomlin did wrap up. Did he wrap up another non-losing season?
He clinched 15th straight.
Oh, because they had that tie. It was like, all right, he can't go 8-8 this year. So what's he going to do? He's going to tie a game so he can go 8-8-1. Brilliant. Or potentially 9-7-1. He has never had a losing season as a head coach. I got to tell you, after watching that game, and it's not like I hadn't watched any Steelers over the years, but they are really frustrating. I don't like what they do. They either throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage or 50 yards down the field. There's not much in between there. It's a weird offense. Their best offense is handing the ball off to Najee Harris and letting him run, because he was impressive last night. It was not a great display of quarterbacking between Ben Roethlisberger and Baker Mayfield, who both has been playing football next year. Future Washington Commanders quarterback Ben Roethlisberger.
You're going with Commanders?
I don't know. I think they should go Commandos and not wear any draws.
I wanted to say this because you mentioned two bad quarterback displays last night. At least with Ben, you know, you kind of expect that at this point in his career. What does that say about Baker that you can go ahead and say he probably played worse than Ben did last night in his last home game of his career?
It says that I saw one particular Panthers media member say Baker Mayfield to the Panthers. Chandler, your thoughts?
This has got to be a joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess both of those guys are going to be on different teams. So is Ben retiring, or is he going to play next year?
I hope he retires.
I would imagine he's got to retire.
He could go the Phillip Rivers route and play on but who wants Ben Roethlisberger at this point?
That's the question.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know if anybody's going to want him. So, yeah, there's that. The end of Big Ben. And just the beginning. Baker Mayfield, some team's going to get him, and they're going to do what we did with Darnold. We're going to say, all right, look, maybe he's in a bad situation.
Yeah, maybe he was just, look at the situation he was in, guys.
He was in a volatile situation. All
he needs a second chance.
Yep. And these guys get a million chances.
I mean, look what he didn't have. Look what he has here now. He needs a second chance. Look at Ryan Tannehill. Boom.
I'll tell you who's not going to give him a second chance. Odell Beckham's dad. He's still going over game film from last night, cutting up the highlights or lowlights.
Why he didn't pass it to him?
Just him missing throws. Baker was under duress, which T.J. Watt, and this shouldn't count because we're adding games, but he's like, 2 sacks away or whatever from breaking Michael Strahan's record?
He did miss 2 games, so technically he would have it in 15 games.
Now we got to do like a sacks per game record. But they were all over Mayfield last night. But there was one particular play that stood out to me. You know how when a quarterback does a play action and just has all the time in the world, he gets to set up, do his proper mechanics.
Yeah.
Turn the body, cock the arm, let it loose. And you just always know in the NFL, and even in college now, the way these passing quarterbacks are, that throw is going to be on the money to a wide open guy.
Like when they pan the camera over, it's just going to be a wide open
It's just
receiver.
a guy wide open, running free.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So Baker does all that, nobody around him at all. Sets up, throws, pick. Like the camera pans, you expect to see that guy wide open, running free. Instead, it's the Steelers guy.
Wide open,
running underneath to make the interception. And so, yeah, he was harassed last night, but even plays like that were just ugly. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. When we return, we'll talk a little NBA. Spencer Percy, BuzzBeat Podcast, going to join us to talk Hornets and everything else going on in the association. We'll talk more about the Washington football team name too. I see some people are chiming in on that on Facebook. So I tell you what I hate. I hate announcing that there's going to be an announcement. Just do an announcement. Why do you have to do an announcement that there's going to be an announcement? I hate that.
Announcement. There will be an announcement.
So I hate that. So Washington announces that they will announce their name and have an announcement
About
on
the name.
February the 2nd. Great.
Oh, and we have a long snapper. Whoops.
No, I just saw it.
I signed it today.
There is a new long snapper that has committed to East Carolina.
Here's the funny thing. I know this guy.
Because it could be you.
I know this guy.
Is it Chandler Honeycutt? Huge long snapper news.
Announcement! There is an announcement!
We have a major announcement that there will be an announcement coming up on the other side of this timeout. Stick with us. We're back after this.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
Name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get one.
Uptown Greenville's newest dining experience is open and ready to serve you. The Sidebar, a Tex-Mex fusion restaurant, offers dinner and weekend brunch. Located at 707 Dickinson Avenue, right beside the DAP House, the Sidebar has indoor dining and patio seating for everyone to enjoy. For the latest information on reservations, menu items, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with Copy Pro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. Copy Pro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at Copy Pro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
Copy Pro, we are the professional office systems people.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the close to 51,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All righty, as we have learned this week, the biggest movement going on in the college football world, it's not a coaching carousel. It's not even a quarterback carousel. It's the long snapper carousel.
It's a long snapper.
Chandler Honeycutt has done a lot to raise awareness for long snappers here on this show.
The only position in football that is not recognized on postseason honors. All-American, all-conference. You don't ever see it.
Which is a disgrace.
Wait, it's a disgrace.
Wait. The only position? What about a holder?
You're right, Shirley. Chandler's wrong. He was trying to maybe overstate it a little bit.
I was going to say because,
Yeah, that's true. Holders. But, hey, guess what? That's a specialist. They always get disrespected, but it's okay.
Well, I disagree because there's the Lou Groza and the Ray Guy Award.
There's also the Pat Manley Award for long snappers.
Why did you say all that then? What's it called?
Because they're still not appreciated.
Pat who?
Pat Manley played 16 years for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, okay. Pat Manley Award. Oh, this is a new award, right?
One of the award winners, the first award winner, I believe, is Thomas Fletcher, who was selected by the Carolina Panthers in the 6th round from Alabama.
You know way too much. The Patrick Manley Award. Patrick Manley. Okay, here we go. So this was introduced in 2019 because Chandler raised such a stink about it. They finally started recognizing
That's written in the Wikipedia page, by the way.
John Shannon won the first award.
Notre Dame.
You're sick.
So, this is scary, actually.
Thomas Fletcher.
Alabama.
Who you just named.
Carolina Panther.
All right. Do you think you could name where the 2021 that's how I say 2021.
Oh.
2021 Patrick Manley
So what year is that? 2020 or 2021?
2021.
Ah, okay.
It's right there in the name. If I say his name, can you tell me what school he attended?
Okay.
His name is Cal Adamitz. Adamitis. Adamitis. Adamitis.
Is it like
a case of Adamitis?
Like Utah State or somewhere like that?
Close, because it is in the United States of America. Pittsburgh is what I was looking for.
I don't know who that guy is, man.
Relatively, if you look at the entire galaxy and the world, you were pretty close. You were a few states off. So
hey, I was right there in the wheelhouse.
You were.
Which is America.
In the general vicinity.
Western Hemisphere. You got that?
Yeah.
So you are
above the equator.
Why are we talking about this? Oh, because East Carolina has had a couple of long snappers transfer. Slade Roy, who we are attempting to get on the show at some point this week.
I thought we booked them.
Well, we've got to the point where he said he'd probably be available today, and I hadn't heard from him. So we're close. We're kind of like you saying Utah State, and the answer was Pittsburgh.
Oh, very close.
We're close.
We're very close.
We just hadn't locked it down yet. I mean, he's probably busy getting to know his new family down in Baton Rouge. Liam Crowley also
on the move.
Do we know where he's ended up?
Not as far as I know.
Okay, so no would be that answer.
But he might be close. I mean, he might be close to making a decision.
You cracked me up because when he asked you that, you immediately looked down, looked to your left,
Yeah,
looked
like,
to
do
your
you
right.
have
like
notes
you
in
had,
front of you?
I was like, what are you looking
What
for
are you-
exactly?
Just looking at empty air.
I was like, did you write it on your hand?
Hold on. Somebody's in my ear. No, not that I know of. No. All right. So there's a spot open. We know a long snapper right here. He has graduated from East Carolina, but you have an undergrad degree, Chandler, correct?
That's right.
You could get into grad school and become ECU's next long snapper. Now, we have an announcement to make. ECU, there has been a human, I'll even say this, a Caucasian male, which you are, that has committed to East Carolina. What are you doing?
I'm putting on the hat.
So would you like to make this announcement? Who is the new commit to East Carolina as the long snapper? What is his name?
It is Alex Harper.
That's not your name.
No, it's not.
Alex Harper, NC Central's Alex Harper. He said, I would like to announce my commitment to East Carolina football, blessed to wear the real purple and gold. He says in a statement, he was born and raised in the great city of Greenville, North Carolina. Where did he go to high school?
He went to Rosewood High School.
So he was born and raised, and then where's Rosewood?
Goldsboro.
Okay, so did not play high school.
It's
in
like Utah
Greenville.
and Pennsylvania.
Right.
It's really close.
Right.
Once again, in the general vicinity.
Now, there's a lot of stuff going on Twitter right now saying
We want Chandler Honeycutt. We want Chandler Honeycutt. Yeah, I know. I think there's actually a crowd outside the Pirate Radio studios right now. So we want Honeycutt.
Example, Toby says, just when I thought Chan was going to get a shot, oh, well, guess he's stuck with Clip and Shirley. Redbeard said, sorry, Chandler. Hold on. There could be a long snapper competition. There's winter workout, spring ball, summer camp, fall camp. There's a lot of time between now and September when East Carolina takes on NC State. This does not ruin your shot at being on the team. I just want to put that out there.
No.
You haven't retired, have you?
Nope.
Officially?
I've not put in my papers.
I have not seen an announcement. So Chandler still could potentially be the long snapper. He'll just have some competition.
That's it.
I do want to point out that Donnie Kirkpatrick and Trip Weaver, who, as Chandler noted, have nothing to do with special teams, liked the tweet.
And that means a lot.
Of Chandler long snapping a ball to Troy D yesterday. So there's something happening here. Just making you aware. All right, let's get to the Pirate Radio Live line. We'll wrap up the hour talking some NFL. Just kidding, some NBA, because the Hornets play basketball. Spencer Percy joins us today on Pirate Radio Live, his first appearance in 2022. Spencer, Happy New Year. How you doing, man?
Happy New Year to you as well. Doing well. Can't complain. Appreciate you having me back on.
Nice finish to 2021 for the Hornets. It has not been the best start to 2022 for Charlotte as they begin by losing a couple in a row, get blown out at home by the Suns on Sunday. And I hate the back-to-back, Spencer, but I did feel like the Hornets would bounce back, respond in a big way. They did it at least for one quarter, the second quarter last night against Washington, but things got away from them in the fourth, so they lose two straight to start the new year. What's happened these last couple of games for Charlotte? Two different games, but two losses for the Hornets.
Yeah. I mean, I think it starts on the defensive end. It's been Charlotte's struggle all year, and going up against Phoenix, that's much different than going up against Washington, the team they lost to last night. Phoenix is just so connected, so well tied together. It starts with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and just how much synergy that squad has on the offensive end of the floor was in full display, I think, on Charlotte a few nights ago. Last night in Washington, I thought, offensively, obviously the Hornets were much better, knocking down some shots. You mentioned the second quarter. That was a really impressive offensive quarter for Charlotte and Miles Bridges. Bully ball. Miles kind of on full display. But, again, the defense, let the Bugs down. And it's been a reoccurring theme all season long. And until they clean things up on that end, I mean, the ceiling can really only be so high for Charlotte. Boy, I could go into a lot of detail. It is a lack of effort, I think, where it has to start. And go ahead.
I was going to ask, team defense, are there individuals who are just playing poor defense? Can you detail that at all? Like, what is the issue there?
Yeah, I mean...
And I've seen you call out transition defense on your videos on Twitter. I mean, it's a little bit of everything, it sounds like.
It is. It is. I mean, the Hornets, in the half court, they're anywhere from 20th in the league to 22nd in the league. I think on cleaning the glass, which takes out garbage time. As a half court defense, they're a little slightly below average, I guess, in 22nd. But transition defense is just killing the Hornets. They are by a country mile the worst transition defense in the association, and that is effort. I mean, you turn the ball over, the other team gets it going the other way. If they're grabbing it off the defensive glass and pushing the tempo, you just kind of want to get back and keep the ball in front of you. I mean, this is elementary, basketball 101 kind of stuff, and it's not getting through to these guys. I think it always has to start with the players. They're the ones that have to motivate themselves. But I think it is fair to also scratch your head at this point and wonder, with this consistent struggle on the defensive end, James Borrego, what is the long-term solution here? What are we trying to do on that end of the floor? And I think that remains to be a little bit confusing to me. So, but as you said, it's everything, Cliff. I mean, these guys consistently, blow rotations, don't communicate enough in the half court. Simple assignment. I think their scheme, they make it too hard on themselves sometimes. They like to play this junky style of zone switching scheme, but they also don't communicate, so it's really hard to execute a switching scheme when you don't talk to each other. It's really a combination of a lot of things that I'm not sure what the fix is. It's a personnel issue. I think it's fair to ask if it's a coaching issue as well. So I guess the trade deadline, that's the one thing the Hornets, if they're going to do anything, they have to shore up the defensive end.
Spencer Percy, Buzzbeat Podcast, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. And let's talk about some positives from 2021 heading into the new year and then the second half of the season. And this roster, Spencer, is fun night in, night out. Of course, LaMelo Ball is going to give you a whole lot of fun and a lot of highlights. But, Gordon Hayward is on sometimes, off sometimes. Miles Bridges is a human highlight reel. I've really enjoyed Kelly Oubre. I know he takes some dumb shots at times. He can do some things to make you say, what's he doing out there? But I love his game. He is a really fun player. And then Cody Martin has been tremendous this year, and people talking about him as like a most improved player candidate for this team. So you've had a ton of bright spots this year for Charlotte, and it's got them at 19-19 right now. You almost you just, with all the potential on this team, you wish they could get over that hump, do a little more, win a game at the end, like last night's game against Washington. But there have been some bright spots and some fun basketball this year.
Oh, no question. I mean, this is a super fun team. I think, a lot of people across the league would say it's, it is one of the most fun products to watch. You brought up Oubre. He's been good. He's kind of remade his career this year on what was somewhat of a deal. He's been a better outside shooter than I think many expected. So he's played a really important bench role. Brian Geisinger, one of my co-hosts on Buzzbeat, the podcast, said it best. Oubre's really been a godsend for the Hornets in certain games this year, but he's not a guy you can depend on every single night.
Yeah.
You kind of feel that when you watch him. You referenced it. It's not always the prettiest. He does some dumb stuff out there, but some nights it works. He's just one of those guys. LaMelo's exciting. Miles Bridges, obviously, the most electric dunker in the league. And, this team's super athletic. I think that's really what sets them apart. When they decide they want to run, they get up and down. That's what makes them fun. And that's what's going to continue to make them fun. I just wonder, windows open and close in this league so fast. And I know Charlotte's not 10 games above 500 or anything like that, but it does feel like a team that's, so dynamic offensively that you can imagine there's a scenario where they could win a playoff series. And so I just really think about a lot, how aggressive is this front office going to be at the trade deadline? I mean, there's one obvious name, Miles Turner, who I think could really help this defense immediately. But, it's the age-old question for every team in this league. If you feel like you got a chance to win the postseason, you should probably try to make your team better immediately and not say, we're a year away, because you never know what could happen, whether it be injury. Miles Bridges is going to enter free agency this summer. You don't know how that's going to play out. So I think if you're a Hornets fan or even a casual one, the most interesting thing we got coming up is the trade deadline and how aggressive Jordan and Kupchak might try to be.
Talking to Spencer Percy today on Pirate Radio Live Busby Podcast. And Spencer, if you watch basketball night in, night out, this stuff makes sense to you. If you are a casual fan, to see in the Eastern Conference, especially the Bulls, I don't know if anybody had them on top, but looking at the Western Conference, to see Golden State, Phoenix, Utah, Memphis, that's your top four. You're missing teams like both LA teams up at the top, Dame and the Blazers, San Antonio, they're down there in the standings in the Western Conference. So I don't know, how much has this thing gone like you thought it would with the teams at the top, or how many surprises are there right now in the NBA as we get into this new year?
Well, I mean, Memphis being top four in the West, I think that's certainly a surprise, especially when you consider Morant was out for a lot of their run, their success. Now he's back. They had a big win in Brooklyn last night. So I think they're a team to watch. They go 11 or 12 deep. Morant's the only star, I would say, on that team. Jaren Jackson Jr. is another name to watch. But the rest of their guys are just super duper solid rotation NBA guys. Desmond Bane's really made a jump this year. So that's a team that I love watching. I actually do think they have the stuff to make a run in a not your traditional, really powerful Western Conference this year. Beyond that, the Eastern Conference has been really interesting. I think you have to look at Chicago and say that they've surprised most. I think there were some folks out there that really liked the DeRozan contract, the signing, bringing him in next to Levine, but I don't think anybody saw them being, the number one team in the East coming up to the All-Star break. So it does appear to be real. DeRozan he's an All-Star, and I think he's going to start on the Eastern Conference All-Star team. So really been cool to watch kind of a revival season from him. And then in the East, beyond that in the East, it's like, all right, when will the Bucks get full strength? Still waiting on that. Had a really weird loss to Detroit last night at home. And then, obviously KD, Irving, Harden, will we see those three together for Brooklyn this season when it matters? I think we do, and they're all locked in, and they're on the same page. I still think Brooklyn has to be the favorite.
Yeah, fascinating if they can all get together, put it together, be on the court when the games really matter at the end of the season. Talking to Spencer Percy. Spencer, while we got you here, I know you follow Virginia basketball. How has Jaden Gardner fit in with the Cavaliers this year? I know they're not having the best season ever, but how's Jaden doing there in Charlottesville?
Well, Jaden's, he's their one low post, mid post, scoring threat. Virginia once again this season is a team that really struggles to score. I've been impressed with Jaden, his feel around the basket. He can play some bully ball. He's not a great athlete, not a vertical athlete rather, but he can catch the ball in that mid post. He's got pretty good footwork, and he can just put his shoulder into somebody's chest, move him, and he's got some touch around the basket. So he's been important for Virginia this year. Really, really big shot late in the game at Syracuse the other night to help Virginia get that win on the road. Going against that 2-3 zone, he was important, catching it in the middle. So they're thin. Virginia, again, they don't have many scorers, so Jaden's really helped them from that perspective. And Virginia wants to slow the game down, so you want a bruiser like him. So I'm bullish on what he'll be in the ACC. I think that he's still learning this system defensively. East Carolina's defensive system, Virginia's defensive system, what's we're proud of you. Very, very different. So he's still learning how to play in the pack line, learning how to stay locked in, for 25 seconds on that end. But I really liked his offensive ability. And not, as you mentioned, not the greatest Virginia team ever, but you're coming off that win against Syracuse the other night. They're at Clemson tonight. So still think they can be an average to slightly above average team and a mediocre ACC this year.
Spencer Percy joining us. We'll wrap it up looking at the Hornets. Got the Pistons coming up on Wednesday. That's got to be a get-right game for Charlotte, right? Go ahead and get a win over Detroit at home. And then you got back-to-backs at home with Milwaukee. Kind of a weird scheduling quirk there, Saturday and Monday before they go on the road to Philadelphia. So opportunity to kind of feel good about yourselves, hopefully, on Wednesday against Detroit, right?
Yeah, you would hope so. You would have thought Milwaukee felt the same way last night as Detroit beats them up there, which was quite the shocker. I watched the end of that game. Cade Cunningham, if you're going to watch the game tomorrow night in Charlotte, he's really coming on quietly as a rookie. So yeah, but you're absolutely right. Charlotte's got to win that game. They can't make Detroit at home the third loss of the 3-game losing streak. So you got to have that one.
And I do feel like Spencer this year, and then I guess they lost on the road in a wild one to Houston. That was a crazy game. But I feel like more so than years past, the Hornets have taken care of business against lesser teams this year. Is that factually correct?
Yeah, I agree. The big difference with Charlotte this year is just late in games. I think they really missed Devontae Graham, in those kind of situations. They haven't been as good of a clutch team. So, but I think you're dead on. I think that Charlotte has gotten some surprising wins at home this year, and I think, like you said, they've taken care of business. So that you got to get it done against Detroit at home this morning.
If people want more Hornets content, Spencer, what do they need to do? Where do they need to go?
Yeah, I would say it's got to start at Buzzbeat Pod. You can find myself, Richie Randall, Brian Geisinger, Lee Branscombe. We break down a lot of film, either night of games or the next day. So I would say check that out, and then you can find me on Twitter at QCH Spencer.
Spencer, always enjoy it, man. We'll catch up later on this season, talk more Hornets basketball with you. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you down the road, man.
All right, Clip. Take care, man.
Spencer Percy, Buzzbeat Podcast, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, talking NBA. We'll talk some college hoops when we return with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. There's been so many postponements, cancellations in sports. It is very refreshing to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. 9 games involving top 25 teams tonight in college basketball. A lot of ACC action as well. And we talked to Joe Dooley earlier. We'll talk to Seymour later. Looks like we'll get some AAC basketball coming up on Wednesday night, hopefully in Minges Coliseum, as East Carolina is set to take on Tulane. Houston, South Florida, Temple, UCF coming up on Wednesday, as well as hopefully these basketball teams getting things under control COVID-wise, and we can actually watch some live sports here in Greenville. Great slate of games tonight. We'll go over that. There is a bowl game tonight, folks. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. There is a random bowl game. LSU and the family taking on Kansas State tonight.
And they are down a lot of players. I think I saw they only have 39 available players tonight.
That being LSU.
The family.
They are a wounded family at this point, and big underdogs to K-State. We'll talk about that, the college basketball action, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey dads, it's back. Plan to join us for our 6th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs. This event will be a fun night of games, music, photo keepsakes, raffle tickets, and of course, dancing. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds will go to Daughters for Dads, which supports local families affected by cancer. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Purchase your tickets today by going to eventbrite.com and search for Daughters for Dads. We will see you Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers in Greenville and now open in Winterville.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Safety comes first at Greenville Utilities. Did you know that by itself, natural gas is completely odorless? As a safety precaution, a chemical is added to the gas that gives it a distinctive and unpleasant odor. This allows you to detect the slightest amount of natural gas both indoors and outdoors. If you smell a strong odor of natural gas in or near your home, you should immediately call Greenville Utilities. GUC maintains staff around the clock in order to provide immediate response to emergencies such as natural gas leaks. You can count on GUC to keep safety job number one.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Get the best of the best for less at Bostic Sugg Furniture. The best name brand furniture at savings up to 15% off store-wide, plus 12 months special financing. Save on the best looks for your home. Save up to 70% off clearance items or get 72 months special financing. Get your best night's sleep on a comfortable new mattress with 72 months special financing. It's better than the rest. It's the best of the best, and it's going on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, they have a full service and repair facility. They do brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World, across from Speedway and Bells Fork. At Bells Fork, I should say, and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
All right, great sports night tonight. A lot of games, so let's talk about them with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. A lot to get into with the big man, with a lot of college basketball games as he joins us for the first time in 2022. Big man, Happy New Year to you. How you doing?
Same to you. How are you, Cliff?
Hey, doing great. First of all, maybe I doubt we'll get into much NFL, but congratulations. Your Eagles knock off my football team on Sunday and are heading to the playoffs. And maybe you, Jeff, expected this year, but I don't know many that had Philly playing postseason this year. So congrats to you Philly folk.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected it. Sirianni ended up doing a really nice job. He committed to running the football. Jalen Hurts has been good enough. Gardner Minshew came in and won them a game. The defense has done enough. They've created turnovers, which is something that they weren't doing. Ultimately it's a good year. Still 3 first-round picks, and now we kind of see how they can do in the playoffs. But they got to improve a little bit. But I think everything that happens from here is a bonus.
I'm pumped. I'm ready for the playoffs. Wish we could just bypass this week 18 and get right to it, but it is wide open this year, and really looking forward to that. We'll get into we'll see if you have any thoughts on the championship in college football. But Jeff, great slate of games on tap for tonight in college basketball. As a lot of top 25 action, a lot of ACC action. I don't even know where to begin. So I don't know what's standing out to you about this slate of basketball games tonight.
Yeah, one game that jumps out to me, really, I pointed it out right away. I bet this myself. Marquette, you got to ask why. They're a favorite tonight. They've lost 4 straight games, 5 of 6. Only win was against Kansas State, who, they beat by 1. Nothing special there. But, 5 of 6 they've lost. Now they get a Providence team coming in. It's 13-1. Haven't lost since November 23rd before Thanksgiving. Marquette's a 1-point favorite tonight. Something's going on there. I'm always going to be on Marquette in this situation. I actually, quite frankly, don't think they're a real bad team. They're actually good at home. They play with a lot of tempo, which I think can bother Providence, who I don't love offensively. I think this is a good spot to back Shaka and Marquette tonight. Look, I don't love Marquette long term, but I think they're in a good position tonight. I also like Texas tonight. This number's been moving up, but there's a reason for that, Clip. Kansas State has all sorts of COVID issues. Their leading scorer, Marks Noel's out. One of their big 7-footers, Davion Bradford's out. And according to Weber, there's a few other players that will not play tonight either. So this is a really tough spot. Texas is playing well. Clip, you look at every win Texas has had this year. They've come all by 7 or more points. When they beat you, they beat you. They win by double digits, and that's something that Chris Beard is very good at. So I like both these plays tonight.
Interesting, Jeff. Just curious, and this is kind of a I don't know. This is why we have you on the show. If that Marquette line was, say, Providence by 3.5, I mean, would you? Do you like that one solely because of what the line says? Is that why you're going with that one?
Yeah, I mean, I've done this a long time.
Yeah.
I've seen these spots many times before, and I think it's just, conference play does something for you, and when we look at Marquette, I mean, they lost 3 straight games in conference. It's time to start sounding, they really need this game.
Yeah.
This is a game where, and you look at the next couple of games, they can get back on track. I mean, Georgetown's very beatable. DePaul's not great. Seton Hall's got injury issues. So, this is a huge game. This is about as big a game for a team on January 4th that you'll see.
Jeff, let's look at some ACC, and Wake Forest flies under the radar in everything. We talked about it during the football season. Steve Forbes has come in, and they were, bottom of the barrel in the ACC. They're 11-3. They're home favorites tonight against Florida State, and it looks like the turnaround is under progress there with the Demon Deacons and Forbes. But how about their start to the year? They're 1-2 in the ACC, but home favorites tonight. I know we talked about Florida State. You said, or we said, I think, that this isn't one of Leonard Hamilton's best teams. So how about the Demon Deacons laying 1.5 points tonight against the Seminoles?
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, I have to say, Steve Forbes is quite the coach. LaRavia and Williams have been awesome. But, I don't want to rain on the parade, but, I mean, when we really look at it, who the hell have they beaten? I mean, the best win is, I guess, Va Tech and Northwestern, solid wins, but Virginia Tech's probably the most inconsistent Jekyll and Hyde team you'll find in the country. It seems like every time this group has stepped up, they've lost. And what do we know about Florida State? I mean, they've kind of just been hidden. 7-4. They haven't really played well in any of their step-ups, but they've won 2 in a row. They seem back to full strength. Malik Osborne, Caleb Mills, Raekwon Evans is good to go. They're starting to get more from some of these kids they brought in Fletcher and Cleveland. It's a tough one for me. I like Wake a lot, but Florida State is gigantic as usual, number one in the country in height. I think Florida State's kind of on the way up, and I think Wake, I think they kind of go back to normal a little bit.
You mentioned Virginia Tech, and I was looking at this game tonight from the other side, the NC State side. This is a team that is 7-7. They're 0-3 in the ACC. Their 3 losses. They lost a tight one to Louisville. They lost to Miami by 8, but that game was back and forth with about 3-4 minutes left to go. And then Florida State, they lose by 2 in that one. So 3 tight losses. Virginia Tech around a 9.5-point favorite tonight at home against NC State. And just following NC State over the years, this would be typical Wolfpack to be 0-3, to lose those tight ones at home and lose one on the road to Miami, and then go out and beat Virginia Tech. I don't know. I kind of like NC State plus the points tonight, Jeff. And with you saying Virginia Tech is so up and down, and the way NC State plays just about everybody close, it makes me like the Wolfpack even more tonight.
Yeah, very astute point by you. I agree. Virginia Tech is so volatile. When you shoot as many threes as they do, and you're as dependent on threes as they are, you're either going to, and you look at some of their scores. I mean, they're pretty interesting. Like, they'll beat a team, like St. Bonaventure by 37.
Yeah, right.
And then they lose to Wake by 19, and they've lost to Memphis this year. They're just volatile.
Yeah,
volatile. It's weird. Like one night clip, they scored 93 against Cornell. 4 nights later, they failed to score 60 against Dayton. Like, they're really, really volatile. And you look at NC State. Like, I think the issue with them is right now, I mean, they're just kind of mired in a bit of a slump. Most of the games, though, have been close.
Yeah.
With the volatility, I don't have a problem with NC State. They don't turn it over, and that's helpful in a game like this.
Well, another one that just stands out, how elite is Duke this year? Are they, 18.5-point favorites against Georgia Tech elite? Georgia Tech doesn't have a great record, hung around but lost the other night to Louisville in a 3-point game. I don't know. That seems like a lot of points to me. Is Duke that good, Jeff, or they can just go out and roll the Yellow Jackets tonight?
I think they are.
Okay.
I mean, they've seemingly passed every test. I mean, they've beaten some other teams by margin that are kind of on Georgia Tech's level. I think this is a pretty bad Yellow Jacket team. Lost a lot of talent from last year. Obviously, Jose Alvarado being namely number 1. They just don't score real effectively. And a team that's shot as well as they have from 3, you have to figure that is going to come back to kind of earth a little bit. I know they're dealing with some players out as well. So, I wouldn't really be running to bet on Georgia Tech tonight. Duke is a team that's really tough. And you look at a game that is kind of similar. I mean, Duke obviously has Banchero, who's terrific. North Carolina has great bigs as well. LSU, too. USC all beat them handily. So, I feel like Duke, probably sets the number where they want to be. I would look more towards like a team total here for Duke, just because I expect them to score significantly. I don't want to be on the wrong side. There's a lot of points in a conference game, but I'd lean more towards the team total. That way I don't have to worry about what happens at the end.
Jeff, let's talk about the American. I know we're high on UCF coming into the season, and they've had a great season. They were on a roll until losing at SMU. The Mustangs playing pretty good as well, but UCF's only losses on the year to Oklahoma, at Auburn, and then that game on the road at SMU. How about Tulane, who's scheduled to play East Carolina Wednesday night? As of right now, that game is a go. East Carolina has been on a bit of a COVID break, but Tulane, Ron Hunter's team, a bad non-conference. I mean, they lose 6 games in the non-conference. They're 5-6. 3-6 non-conference. They have a long layoff. They come out, they beat Memphis. I think Memphis was a little undermanned, but look, they beat Memphis. That's a pretty good win for Tulane. They follow that up with a road win at Cincinnati. Now, I don't know how fluky you can say that is to win those 2 back-to-back. So what about this Tulane team that we're going to see Wednesday night? Is this just a little mini run they're on, or can they actually do something this year, Jeff?
Yeah, this Tulane team's weird. I mean, this is a group that lost to Southern University, then came back and played Florida State really tight in Tallahassee, then beat Drexel, then lost to teams like Valpo and Charleston twice. Then they come back and beat Memphis and Cincinnati in conference play. Weird team, great coach. I love Ron Hunter. He has a ton of talent on this team, and he's been really good. Jalen Cook's been great, the transfer from LSU. I think they have a big advantage here. I mean, East Carolina, as you know, hasn't played since December 21st. I mean, that's over 2 weeks ago by the time they play tomorrow night. So not ideal, but I've told you before, I did not expect East Carolina to be this effective. I think they've been actually quite good, and that's something I didn't expect. Joe Dooley's done a great job with this group. And, the great thing about conference play, and a team like East Carolina is both these teams are dangerous because Tulane started out really well, and East Carolina hasn't played conference play yet. So both have a lot on their minds. I think East Carolina long-term could be a real tough out. I think this is a close game. I'd probably give the edge a little bit to Tulane, but ECU can kind of fade it back and say, well, we're at home here, So we've had some rest at any rate. So, I think this is a tough game. It wouldn't be a game I'd be betting on. Now, Clip, I will say, you mentioned quickly UCF.
Yeah.
I actually bet on them the first time they played Temple, beat them badly, beat them by 17 in Philadelphia. Now you're getting UCF at home here, off a loss against Temple here at home. I think they're going to probably be, I'd say, a 10-point favorite. Temple right now has major issues. They can't score. Look, Clip, I had Temple on Sunday against Houston.
I watched that game, and I was following your Twitter as well.
Bro, how did Temple cover?
Yeah, no clue.
This is a team that hasn't shot 30% this year from three and was just money the other night from three.
You know what I took in that game, Jeff, and why I was following it? I took very early on Temple.
The under.
Under 59.5, I think. I think they ended with 61 points, right? I was really close to it. And they went on these long droughts and then would score, 10 points in a minute and a half. It was crazy.
Yeah, they're kind of beat up right now. I mean, Jake Forrester's not playing. Ty Strickland's not playing. They were 10 for 27 from three, 37%, which is not a norm for them. I'm going to guess they don't shoot that way again. Plus, UCF, I'm going to tell you right now, Clip, I think this team's going to win the win the AAC. With Houston's issues injury-wise and Memphis has got issues, I think this UCF team's really good. Temple's in a bad way right now. I don't think they're going to get what they got the other night. I think UCF cruises here.
Huge college basketball night tonight, Jeff. There is a bowl game tonight, folks. If you're not paying attention, LSU Kansas State with K-State is a 7-point favorite, total in the upper 40s in that one. And then, of course, you got Georgia, Alabama. Jeff, how much are you paying attention tonight? And also, who do you like in the rematch of Georgia and Bama coming up?
Yeah, I mean, if you're keeping track at home, LSU is pummeled. I mean, a lot of players out, a lot of players. Now, I will say that Missouri, an SEC team, had a lot of players out, and they were able to cover against Army. When you look at K-State, you're gonna have to imagine this is a big game. They're really excited about this one. Skylar Thompson's back. Deuce Vaughn's playing. He's terrific. Defensively, they're good. I think there's a lot of reason for excitement from this group. This is a great recruiting opportunity if you're Chris Kleiman. Keep in mind for LSU, their top two tacklers are out. A ton of players up front. B.J. Ojolari, their sack leader's out. Mason Smith and Jacqueline Roy are out, their best defensive tackles. Deuce Vaughn's going to run wild there. And this is a defense that, quite honestly, wasn't very good to begin with. I mean, they gave up almost 26 points a game and over 370 yards per game. So, look, I think K-State cruises. The problem, Clip, with this number is, I mean, you're not getting a great price here. It's up to 7.5. Do I think K-State win by double digits? Yeah. What I did, Clip, quite honestly, is I did a teaser. I teased this down. I got it at 6.5, teased it to pick 'em. I teased it with North Dakota State in their championship game against Montana State. All they got to do is win. I'm confident with that one as well. As far as the rematch, I'm still looking through this one, Clip.
All right, we'll ask you that one on Thursday. Big man, we'll talk maybe some more NFL, definitely some college hoops, little Bama, Georgia, and more when we reconvene on Thursday. What all do you got going on now, Jeff? Your basketball podcast back?
Yeah, so I have Big Men on Basketball is back. The first episode is out now. You can find it on my YouTube channel, Big Men on Betting. We did a great show with Jim Brew from 3 Man Weave. That'll be out every Tuesday. I'm also on Patreon, patreon.com/BMOC, and The Sit Down podcast is back. We were off last week. We've got Clip, a huge episode. If you're new to the genre, a good episode tomorrow. We're going to talk about Paul Vario. Paul Vario is the individual Paulie in Goodfellas. We're going to have a real story of Paul Vario is his name, not Paul Cicero like the film. One of the most powerful people in the history of the Lucchese crime family. We're going to talk about him and some of the exploits of Goodfellas, so make sure you check that out. A lot going on for me, but I like to stay busy, Clip.
Yes, sir. Jeff, great to catch up with you, man. Enjoyed the hoops tonight, and we'll talk to you later on this week.
Appreciate that, Clip. Thanks. Talk to you next week.
Jeff Nadu joining us to kick off 2022. Fired up for some basketball tonight. Got a little football talk in there as well, and we'll reconvene with him on Thursday and talk more about Week 18 of the NFL. Georgia, Bama still crunching the numbers there, and a lot more college basketball too. Speaking of odds, when we return, I saw an email that I got from some dude from sportsbetting.ag. The odds on what Ben Roethlisberger does next. We'll go over the odds when we return on Pirate Radio Live. Also, talk to Seymour. Had a lot of talk with with no games being played. And we'll do it again when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2022 Cadillac CT5 and save up to $1,500 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Christmas has come and gone, so bring in the new year with the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute band, Slippery When Wet. It's my life, it's now or never. One night only at the Bob Martin Ag Center in Williamston, Saturday, January 15th. Advance tickets just $25 at innovativeticketing.com. $30 at the door. Hear your favorite Bon Jovi hits for one night only, Saturday, January 15th at the Bob Martin Ag Center in Williamston. Advance tickets just $25 at innovativeticketing.com.
Hey, this is John Grillo, the Bagel Man. You know I love bagels. I don't settle for frozen bagels. That's why we make our bagels right here in Greenville from scratch every day. If you're coming into Bagel Man, you'll notice that there's some renovation going on. Our menu is bigger and better than ever. Our sandwiches, heroes, subs, salads, wraps, bagel dogs, fresh baked pastries, and our new coffee bar. Soon we're going to be opening for dinner. Don't forget Bagel Man for all your catering needs on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park, or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
This is Touchdown Tony Collins, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? We'll keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Every time this player is in the news, I return to my immaturity and think about a joke. Would you like me to pick on Chandler or CJ, Shirley? CJ's raising his hand. We'll go CJ. Some NFL news. Adam Schefter reporting that the Bears have waived defensive back D. Virgin from their practice squad. CJ, wasn't that your nickname in high school?
He just walked out.
I mean, he's done. Roasted, toasted, burned.
Would you like some jam with that toast?
Needed to walk out in the hallway a minute to cool down. That was quite the burn.
Somebody get some medical attention to CJ.
Somebody get some aloe vera for that burn.
I swear, I keep seeing this guy's name, and every time I want to tweet "Hey Chandler, wasn't that your nickname in high school?" Hey, fill in the blank. What is it? I just can't stop myself. It's a sickness. It's a disease.
It's a joke that's got headlights on it. You just cannot avoid it.
D. Virgin. What a name. And he has been waived. And Adam Schefter is reporting that he's been waived from their practice squad. Is he reporting this just because he knows it's going to get a lot of attention? Do you report on every guy released from a practice squad?
Oh, no. He definitely got that for clout.
Yeah. Because it was it was 3 minutes ago, and the numbers are just popping up as I speak. It's already got 1,000 likes, 250 quote tweets, 101 retweets for a guy that's on a practice squad. So yeah,
that's definitely all for clout.
All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line, and can we please play basketball on Wednesday night? We'll talk to Seymour about it. He joins us today on Pirate Radio Live. Happy New Year. How you doing?
Happy New Year, Clip. I hope you had a good New Year, safe New Year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, man, really looking forward to some Pirate Hoops and looking forward to any kind of ECU athletics right now. Si, we had our first show of the year back live yesterday and said that during our break we had no ECU football, obviously, with the Military Bowl being canceled, no ECU women's basketball, and, of course, no ECU men's basketball. We previewed a game last week, Si, that never took place against Wichita State, and we got our fingers and toes crossed that we can finally get back to some basketball coming up Wednesday night.
Well, you're right, and that's what you're doing. I think really the month of January is the big month for this Omicron variant. And if you get through this, and really I think the Mid-Atlantic states, we're probably in the heat of it right now. So if we get through this, I think we got a chance. But I think it's going to be tough sledding for a lot of schools. We're just, I read the other day it was 102 cancellations so far, and that was a week ago. probably been more. No telling what it's been now, but that's how it's really been a tough variant for teams that are traveling on planes or being, you're in contact. It's really difficult.
Yeah, and talked about it with Coach Dooley earlier that it was a perfect storm side with the, school being out and the holidays, and you're not able to really quarantine at all or get your team together and away from contact, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these cases pop up, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. I mean, really, you're just stuck right now. That's the whole problem. This whole thing is everybody's trying to just do the best they can in a difficult situation. It's very hard.
Aside from what how much has the team been able to get together and practice? I guess it's been a lot of individual work. Maybe it sounds like we're back to where we were, last year with this thing.
I think you're right. I think every now and then you will get everybody, if you're lucky, or you might get 5, or you might get 7, and then managers come in and play. I mean, it's rare. It's very, very difficult for coaches right now to prepare and get ready. And I don't think people understand how bad it was last year. They talk about ECU had a rough year. It was a tough year. I'm just telling you. If you just happened to get caught at the wrong time last year, the month of January and February, Joe couldn't even practice with them for a long time. And there were some games he could have won that he didn't get to go to Tulane. He didn't get to practice with the team for a long time. It's tough. And I hope we can get through it better this year.
Seymour joining us. Well, there has been some games played, and Tulane has been able to get in those games, and they had a rough non-conference with a losing record, but they start 2-0 in league play, including a victory over Memphis. So Tulane right now going to come in here on Wednesday night, 2-0 with wins over Memphis and on the road at Cincinnati. And Ron Hunter, I'm a Ron Hunter fan mostly because of the personality, what we see on the sidelines, the sense of humor, the theatrics, but I guess he's a pretty darn good basketball coach too, Si. This Tulane team, again, rough non-conference, had a layoff, but since then have played some good basketball.
Well, you're right, and Ron Hunter is an excellent coach. He spent 8 years in that last job at Georgia State. 7 of those years he won, and 6 years he went to postseason play. I mean, his son RJ, I know you can remember when they went to the NCAAs and got a win in the first round. But he is a good basketball coach. That's what you got to understand. He took this Tulane job. It's his 3rd year, and he said, I didn't come here to lose. And he'll have them right. He played a Memphis team, and again, when you look at Memphis came in there, and they were missing both kids that are freshmen because of COVID protocol. The two top 5 draft choices, they did not play, nor did Williams, the 6'9" kid, who may be their best player. So they were missing 3 of the inside guys when they played Tulane, and even then they lost only by 1. But like you said, Ron Hunter's team was ready. He's guard strong. He could go to the hoop with them, and they didn't have the stoppers inside. 3 of those guys didn't play, but that doesn't matter. Bottom line is he won. And then, don't take anything away. When you win a road game in this league, and he beats Cincinnati, that's a big-time win.
No doubt. Talking to Seymour today on the Pirate Radio Live line. Right now, Tulane sitting at 2-0. SMU also 2-0 in the conference. Houston 1-0 after knocking off Temple on Sunday. Kind of a sleepy gym there in Philadelphia. Temple kind of a struggling side. Houston able to pick up the road win. They're 12th in the country right now, 12-2 overall. What's the ceiling for Houston? Is this a Final Four team that Kelvin Sampson has?
2 weeks ago I would have said yes, but when you lose Sasser, who is your best player, who's averaging 19 a game, and you lose the 2 guard with him that was his highest recruit ever, a 6 guard, he lost both those kids. He was averaging 12 a game. So you lost 2 kids, and that's 32, 33 points that you lost. And they're perimeter people. I thought he did a good job just winning the other day. But Sampson's got talent, and they're deep, but to be a Final Four team, you got to have everything. And of course, losing Sasser with the toe injury, and then the other players, left-handed, 6'5", can really play. he tore his labrum, so he's out for the year. That's 2 major losses for that ball club. He'll win his share of games, but to go deep, you got to have total quality, and losing Sasser and that young man, both kids, it's very difficult.
We talk about this a lot in football side, maybe more than and even Major League Baseball with all the games you play. Not as much in basketball. The teams at the end who can get hot in tournament play, and also who's healthiest. And we don't talk about health a ton when it comes to basketball, but that's certainly a factor with these teams.
Well, and I think another factor, we always talk about the bigs, but good guard play in tournaments is essential. You got to have the guys that won't turn it over, that know when to stop, set the offense up, or go hard, and then when they get fouled at the end of a game, they can go to the line and you make the shots. Can you make the free throws, and can you get it to those guards? And so good guard play on that level makes a big difference down the stretch. And I'm telling you, he had the guards, but they're gone. Now, can your backup step up? I'm talking about Houston.
Yeah.
So that's what you go through.
Si, you've been in it long enough now as a coach and as an announcer to see the shifts in basketball, and now it's gotten further and further away from the basket. I mean, there was a time back when you were coaching where if you had the big man, you give him the ball, let him go to work and win basketball games. But, man, everything's cyclical, right? Things change, and they have changed in basketball.
They really have, and they've changed it. Look, when I first started, there was no shot clock. Okay, now I'll just tell you the truth. We played that show on. They were loaded. They had 3 guys to Division I. I had 2 good guards. We held the ball, and with 4 minutes to go, the score was 12-10.
Man,
I'm just telling you the truth. I mean,
do what you can to win, right?
Yeah, exactly. We ended up losing. I think we lost 16-20. But the bottom line is we played with what we had. Then the shot clock went to 45 seconds.
Yeah.
There was no three-point shot at this time. Then it went to 45, and now you've seen it come down to 30. And I'm just saying, we've seen that. But the evolution of the three-point ball is a major difference. When they first started, I'll never forget it, when we first started it, teams were scared to take it. So the average number of shots from the 3-ball was 8. 8 shots a game.
Yeah.
Now, you got to make 8.
Yeah.
You got to make 12. Back then, at the beginning, it was they then they adapted. Then all of a sudden, you saw teams knocking down jumpers, and you said, "Wait a minute, we got to take this shot." Good shot, and it really did. And now it's emerged as it's essential. Now the difference is they have now moved it back further.
Yeah,
and listen, that much difference. First of all, if you can hit them, and most of these kids adapt to it, but it also gives you a chance for the dribble drive, the high ball screen, and go to the basket because everybody's extending out on the defensive end an extra foot. Believe it or not, that's all it takes in basketball. One extra foot to get there and make that layup. Like he gets over late and doesn't block the shot. Well, that's because he extended a little bit further out. It's crazy how it works. But you're right. The game has totally changed. It really has.
And you touched on it a little bit, Si, but while we're on the topic, how radical was it, you as a coach being involved in basketball when the three-point line came around? Like, did you look at it as, well, what is this gimmick mess? We're not going to go out there and shoot, or did it take you a while to get adjusted to it as a coach?
Sure.
Yeah.
You would say, okay, if you've got the open shot, take it. And if it happened to be over that line, they take it, and then you wait. Then you're seeing other teams, and you say, "Wait a minute, we didn't take that shot," And so, yeah, you're right. It was experimental for everybody, and then you got used to it, and you said, "You got to be a part of this. You got to take that 3." If it's at all possible. But in the first part of it, you were saying just run your offense, take the shots that are available.
Yeah.
And then you say, "Wait a minute. We got to set double screens and stagger screens, and we got to look at that 3-ball more. I mean, it's just part of it."
Si Seymour joining us, and with all the cancellations, postponements that have gone on, actually got a good slate of games coming up tonight, as a lot of SEC, Big 12, Auburn is at South Carolina at 6:30. Number 1 Baylor at home against Oklahoma coming up tonight. Texas at K-State. Kentucky at LSU. Seton Hall at Butler. Georgia Tech is at Duke. Kansas at Oklahoma State coming up tonight at 9 o'clock. So, Si, you've actually got a slate of basketball games. This is pretty refreshing to see after all the stoppages we've had.
Yeah, you're right, and I hope we can continue to get them in. That's going to be the key. Yeah, it's great to see that, and you're right, just so many good games. Let's hope that we can get through them all. But you're right, it's like I said, it's refreshing to see games and people in stands. It's just really nice to see.
Si, who during this stoppage, I know you've been trying to watch sports as much as you can. What coaches, what players, what teams do you try to catch if they're on? I know you watch whatever, but anybody in particular you're watching this season?
Well, anyone in the American I watch. I like to see them. But you know what I've gotten to be a real fan of, and it's crazy. Mike Nettie was with us, ECU, and then went to Ohio State. So I began to watch the Big Ten, and that is a brutal league. I'm a guy that grew up here, so I like the ACC. I like our league, the American. I like to see it. But I'm telling you, I watched them against Nebraska the other night, and I texted Nettie after the game, and I said, Sunday night, I said, you guys put a clinic on in the overtime, and they did. They hit 3-pointers that people were in their face. They knocked them down, and Ohio State won. But
how about last night, Wisconsin going on the road and beating the Boilers in the Big Ten?
How about that?
Yeah.
I watched that I watched that. And I'm sitting there watching that, and I'm saying, look at Wisconsin, how tough they are. And look at and Purdue is tough. And I know Illinois is tough. I mean, I'm just looking at that league, and I'm thinking, every day out, it is more. But I'm going to tell you, the American is not far off. It is a tough basket. I mean, let's get real. Cincinnati beat Illinois this year by 20. This league is a bear league we're in. It's just so much fun to watch. But I really like watching Ohio State. I think they're physical, they're tough. But think about last year in the NCAA. You thought that league, they got 7 or 8 teams in, they do well. Guess what? They all got beat in the NCAA.
You just never know. Si Seymour joining us. A couple more for you, and we'll let you run. Georgia-Bama rematch. Who you got coming up on Monday night?
They can both beat my Washington football team.
That's true.
I will say that. And once I saw Maryland play in the bowl game, I'm not sure they're the best team in that area. I think Maryland could. But
tough times.
I'm taking Bama.
Okay. All right.
I'm taking Bama, but it'll be a dogfight. 2 great programs.
Any thoughts on there's going to be a new name for that Washington football team coming up on February the 2nd. You got any front runner side, what you want it to be, or do you care?
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I just like to see them win some games.
I'm with you, man.
I mean, it's so frustrating to watch them right now when you know, and Rivera's doing a good job. They're just not very good. It's really, and Clip, I'll tell you one thing I've learned more and more about football. You better have a good quarterback.
It is. I told, I got a lot of Panthers buddies, and some of them just kind of got into it during the Cam era. And I said, look, when you start doing the quarterback shuffle and you don't have that number 1 guy, it is a nightmare. And Washington has been doing that for years and years and years now.
Listen, they even did it during the Gibbs years.
Well, they won, 3 Super Bowls with 3 different QBs, right?
Yeah, and they were all mediocre. I mean, really, truly, they were all mediocre quarterbacks. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
He won 3. I remember in the early 60s, they got a Heisman Trophy winner. And I thought, okay, the Redskins will be good. Because I was 12 or 13, and that was the only game in town you watched football game.
Yeah.
They were off. And he was off. I mean, just never, and they've never had one since that time period. The best quarterback probably, I'm talking about ability, was Jurgensen. I'm talking about a guy that could really throw it. And, of course, Lombardi said to him, Jurgensen, you need to lose that weight. He said, I don't throw with my belly. I mean, that's what Jurgensen didn't hold back.
I wish I could have watched him play. So I loved him on the radio call growing up. Him and Sam Huff and Herzog.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He's probably the most pure and really a great athlete. He's a great pitcher in baseball.
I've seen them clips of him throwing the football behind his back 25, 30 yards.
That's right. He was a great basketball in the state of North Carolina. He's from Wilmington,
yeah.
And a great baseball player. He was just a great athlete, but he could throw that football. And I'm telling you, he was something else to watch.
We need to find another one somewhere, Si. Maybe we will. All right, let's wrap it up with Pirate Hoops. Okay. Hopefully, back on the hardwood coming up Wednesday night against Tulane. And Si, we don't know, who's going to play and who's going to be available, but I don't know. What are your keys to winning a basketball game when you hadn't played in so long Wednesday night?
Well, I think, it goes with each team that you play. I think with Tulane, they have great guards. Zion James and Jalen Cook. Cook was at LSU, and I'm telling you, he was the player of the year for the state of Louisiana. He transfers over, and he's averaging 20 points a game. And his name is Cook. And he's that good, Jalen Cook. You got to control him, keep him in front of you, and also James. All these guys, and Forbes is the other great. They've got really. I'm talking about different level of talent. Forbes came in from Alabama, and Cook came in from LSU. They have like 6 or 7 different transfers. They got one from Asheville, but he played 60 games in Asheville where he double figures. There's 60 different games he averaged double figures in. So they've got other kids, but the key will be for East Carolina, can you handle dribble penetration from these guards, and you got to shoot the three ball well. You've got to, and you cannot turn it over against this team. They will finish at the other end. So I think the keys will be to keep the guards in front of you, control the paint. You've got to do that. Don't turn it over. They're going to be some key parts of this game against a really good Tulane ball club. Ron Hunter and his staff done a great job.
Man, really looking forward to it. Hoping we can see some basketball coming up Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in Minges Coliseum. And we got to give Corey Glore another loss. He's 0-1 with Tulane. Lost in football since he went there, and now we got to beat him in hoops here.
Exactly. And I know Corey's excited. And he's
doing
a good job on it. But, we got to beat Corey. We can't let him come in here and brag on us. We got to whip him.
Yes, sir. That sounds good. Si, always enjoy it, man. Hopefully we'll see you in Minges. Have a great call if we do on Wednesday night, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yep, always good.
Si Seymour joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Hopefully we'll see and hear Si coming up on ESPN Plus Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, when and if the Pirates take on Tulane. Let's take a timeout, come back. Wrap up hour number 2. Back with a lot more to go on Pirate Radio Live after this.
With Domino's Carside Delivery, you can carry out any 3-topping pizza for just $7.99 without leaving your car. So you don't have to interrupt your kid's favorite song.
And we'll all be friends just for one day.
You can interrupt this, actually.
Next time you carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each, try Domino's Carside Delivery. Just pull up to the store, check in online, and Domino's will bring your food to you contact-free. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size. Message and data rates may apply when using Domino's Carside Delivery.
Here today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness. Dr. Jones, a lot of exciting new things going on.
Yes, so you may have seen our new facility, but we also have a private courtyard. There's an outdoor private area where we have artificial turf where it's fenced in, and we're going to be having our sunset yoga classes there. Those classes allow you to develop increased flexibility, more energy, and get better sleep. So come on and check those classes out today. Come by and see us, Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, Arlington Boulevard, or check us out online at kptonline.com.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Hey Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary?
That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar, full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero, 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
This is Brian Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can go to YouTube and search for Pirate Radio TV and subscribe today. You can watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. And, of course, you can watch the Bud Light pregame tailgate in the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days during football season. Just go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and subscribe. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Alrighty, wrapping up hour number 2 of the show. I just realized I didn't give the Big Ben odds, did I?
No, you did not.
Let's do that real quick. I want CJ to hear this. This is dumb, but it's an email I got. Stephen Igoe joins us in hour 3, but he's here, so I might as well say hello, Stephen. So you're free to chime in if you'd like.
Okay.
I appreciate you not speaking until introduced, though.
You're welcome.
Great guest etiquette from Stephen Igoe. All right. This is from Josh Barton. Sportsbetting.ag. Sounds illegal. I wouldn't go there.
Send you random emails too?
I guess. It's in my, spam folder.
And he sends me emails, and I don't know how he got my email. I guess he just emails every person affiliated with sports across the country.
Yeah, he's a busy man. He says, Ben Roethlisberger likely played his last game at Heinz Field last night, and with the Steelers having less than a 5% chance of making the playoffs, the two-time Super Bowl champion's career will almost certainly come to an end on Sunday. So what's next on the career path of Big Ben, a surefire future Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee who is expected to retire at season's end? Sportsbetting.ag set odds on Roethlisberger's next gig. Ben Roethlisberger's job in 2022. What do you think the favorite is? Well, we're assuming he's retired. That's not a job necessarily. What would be the minus 150 betting favorite? Wow, you guys are
CBS
stumped.
analyst.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. TV football analyst, minus 150.
Oh, see, I was trying to think of a team that he possibly would go to.
Well, that unretires to play in the NFL is plus 750 on this.
Okay.
This is podcast host plus 300.
Podcast host.
Reality TV contestant plus 400. I don't hate this.
I don't hate that idea.
Dancing with the Stars. It's about the only one I could come up with.
I would like to see him like an Amazing Race.
Does it say host a TV show?
No, reality TV contestant.
Survivor? Yeah, like a Survivor or an Amazing Race type reality show.
Survivor, and is this a bad joke? I shouldn't say any bathroom jokes, should I?
We don't know what you're going to say, so we don't know.
Nah, probably not.
Yeah.
He'll be on The Masked Singer.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something like that.
Yeah,
actually.
that's or whatever that new one is, where you're the digital rendering of yourself. What is that called? No. It's kind of like The Masked Singer, except they are seeing a digital version of yourself, and then that person is singing, and I don't know.
Okay, I'll never watch that.
It's one of those weird Fox shows that don't make sense.
So TV analyst, podcast host, reality TV contestant, unretires to play in the NFL, plus 1,200 NFL coach, could take a gig somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 1,600 college coach. He could jump on with Miami of Ohio, his alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Those are the odds. Does Ben?
There's no odds for him to be yet another spokesman for Nugenics.
Yeah, some like infomercial.
Yeah,
host.
like some infomercial host.
He could go
peddling like the copper thingy.
Jimmy Johnson did the Viagra, right? Or some kind of pill.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well,
they're going to do a remake of a commercial like Mean Joe Green.
Thanks, Big Ben.
Thanks, Big Ben.
Does he have the personality to be a TV guy?
I think like an analyst, not a...
Like a host of a...
I think like a studio analyst more so than a game analyst. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like he's not a Tony Romo.
Yeah.
But then again, Tony Romo wasn't a Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good
we didn't
point.
know that. And haven't even said that. I still don't see Big Ben being like a Romo in the booth. I could see him being at a table like a Boomer or Sims. Like you said, CBS.
Yeah.
Redbeard's using some jokes that I was kind of going to go down that line, but I decided not to.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said that.
So we'll save that stuff for Twitter and for Redbeard as Chandler and CJ check their phones. All right, we're going to move on, take a timeout. Do you have something to say?
I'm just confused. A, there's a clock that says it's 2:02, and B,
the clock's wrong. All right, I just solved that mystery for you.
On the ESPN bottom line, it says Monday Night Football doubleheader Saturday. Why not just call it NFL doubleheader Saturday?
They've done this for years.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And by the way, who wants to watch Broncos Chiefs on Saturday? That sounds like a miserable game to watch.
They always try. There's just not enough games of importance this week, I guess.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs, what are they playing for? Maybe the top seed?
Yeah, playing for. I think the Titans would have to lose for them to get the number one seed. So they're playing for basically the second seed.
And the Cowboys and Eagles is the other Saturday game, and they both have already locked up a playoff spot. There might be some
seeding.
Yeah, jockeying for position, but no stakes there. The real game with stakes is the Sunday nighter, Raiders and Chargers. Which I'm sure you love to see. Two teams from your division fighting for the playoffs.
It's pretty ugly to watch. I will be tuning in for Zay Jones, though. Hopefully he can figure out a way to get it done.
How about
on Sunday?
A resurrection of his career? And you got Linville Joseph on the other side still playing, as he doesn't have too many more years in the league.
And he's set to become a free agent at the end of this year.
Yeah, I think he can get one more deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll get a deal next year if he wants to keep playing. But from looking at the numbers, his play has kind of fallen off a bit the last few years, as you would expect for what, a 11, 12-year defensive tackle. I mean,
maybe he can do a Bucks, jump on with a really good team and sign a one-year deal.
To think he was on the 08 and 09 conference championship team here is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a heck of a career, and he still starts for L.A. Granted, they have one of the worst run defenses in the league, but it's not all Linville. I mean, he's actually still playing at probably an average level, above average level against the run. So, I mean, he's your typical run stop and D tackle. At the worst, he could be a rotational guy next year.
All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We will talk ECU athletics. There's nothing that's happened on the field or on the court since we last spoke with Stephen Igoe, but a lot of news off the field court diamond. We'll dive into it all when we return on Pirate Radio Live, Hour 3 on the way after this.
Hey dads, it's back. Plan to join us for our 6th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs. This event will be a fun night of games, music, photo keepsakes, raffle tickets, and of course, dancing. Best of all, 100% of the proceeds will go to Daughters for Dads, which supports local families affected by cancer. Sponsorship opportunities are also available. Purchase your tickets today by going to eventbrite.com and search for Daughters for Dads. We will see you Friday, February 11th at Rock Springs.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it New York style. So you can fold it or not. Hang on, right though, I fold it. Get a New York style pizza from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, the new Papa John's New York Style Pizza is a MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulf of Mexico.
A huge 38-ounce lime margarita from $6.99.
On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a #1 priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard, conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Alrighty, thanks Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, CJ Schaefer here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Had some big news earlier today. East Carolina, after losing a couple of long snappers, have added a long snapper. And our Chandler Honeycutt, we're still hoping he can be a part of the ECU football team as a grad student. And look, just because ECU added a long snapper today doesn't mean that they're not going to add another. They just had 2, right? You want to add another?
They had 3, and I think all 3 entered the portal
this year.
Yep.
After a year or 2 after Robert Hill entered the
portal.
Yeah. What is going on? I said it earlier. Screw the coaching carousel, the quarterback carousel. This long snapper carousel is nuts.
It's made long snappers relevant. I mean, no offense, Chandler.
Wow.
Before I never covered long snapper recruiting news, and now I feel like now I feel like it's the main story. Like it's the only thing I can report on. There's no games, no commitments, just long snapper news. And
that's nuts.
I'm interviewing the newest long snapper commitment tonight. The guy from North Carolina Central, whose name I can't remember. I know it's Alex Harper.
Alex Harper.
Yep. See,
Harp. Rich on Facebook Live.
And sorry.
Okay.
He took a shot at Slade Roy, I believe, on the way in.
Was that the real purple and gold thing? I didn't know where he was going.
It had to have been, yeah.
So not only now we got long snappers beefing. By the way, I've slid into Slade Roy's DMs, and we're trying to lock down an interview. Igoe. He's a very interesting DMer.
Now the high school,
he uses he just.
How do you do the Cam Newton font?
It's not that. He just shortens words.
Right.
He doesn't have a lot of time to type out full words. So sometimes it's kind of tough to... Sometimes it's kind of tough to see what he's saying. So we're trying to lock down an interview with Slade Roy.
I want to know how this is going to go.
He's been very elusive, but...
I'm going to say that interview never happens. But when it does happen, if it does, you have to play the Welcome to the Family.
Oh, I'll play Family. Were you going to say something, Chandler? Before all that nonsense?
Alex Harper's high school colors is purple and gold.
Yeah, but he wouldn't trash his high school.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's a shot at
purple and gold.
Maybe he's taking a shot at LeBron.
He could be. I've heard Alex Harper really dislikes LeBron. He's definitely a Kobe guy.
Wait, he also played in the purple and gold, though. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. We got long snapper beef. This is great for college football.
Yeah, I mean, this is for all the negative of the transfer portal. This is what it does. It keeps it.
This is what it takes. This is what it takes to get some kind of recognition for long snappers.
Well, it's out there now.
It dawned on me the other day, Chandler, that you can't kick a field goal without the snap. And I mean, you can't.
I about cussed on air.
You can't just
no crap.
You can't just crap the ball at your pants and hold it and kick it that way. You have to snap it back to John Young. By the way, snapper and holder gone. Owen Daffer is stepping into a whole new world next year.
Who is the holder?
John Young. And he's been the holder, an All-American holder for how many years now?
Wait, unofficially All-American or
All-American holder.
Okay.
Per 24/7 Sports' Stephen Igoe.
Who's the punter? Oh, do we still have the Aussie?
Troy Dreyfus, I think, is lining up to be the next punter after what I saw the other day.
That's right. Okay.
But no, the Aussie Luke Larson, they also brought in a punter transfer from Air Force to compete with the Aussie.
All right, support the troops. Troy D likes the shout out there. As I think this is going to turn into Chandler not being on the team and Troy and eventually being on the team. Did I ever read Rich's comment? He said, "I want to see Chanman snap a basketball full court and make it in Minji's."
That would be cool.
Could you be like part of the halftime show or something?
Yeah.
All right.
Would it be legal for a quarterback to snap it across the field?
Would it be
instead of just throwing it, like just snapping it?
Just turn around and just snap
Like
it.
if you're the greatest long snapper in the world, just snap it to the receiver.
I mean, we basically are quarterbacks throwing it backwards
That is
between
true.
our legs.
So you take the snap from the center who snaps it between his legs, immediately turn around, bend down, and then
hoist it
and grip it and rip it.
How long do you think you could snap a football? Do you is that a challenge at the camps? Like long?
That's actually that's a record in the Guinness World Record book.
Okay, what is it?
I'm not sure, but it was. I'm not sure, but it was held by a guy that snapped here for a short bit.
Snapped here?
Eric Lawson.
How do you? What in the world? Hold on.
Look up.
I'm pretty sure that dude's dad. He got mad at me one time for not giving the long snappers any credit.
I'm with him.
All right, we got some news here. Bengals
long snapper.
Bengals long snapper breaks world record for longest snap.
Long snapper, longest snap. Makes sense.
Clark Harris, 36 yards and 8 inches. So there you go. 36 yards. Is that impressive to you, Chandler?
Yeah.
Could you get 120? 25?
Probably. Well, I would hope so because the punter is 15 yards behind the long snapper.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I could snap at 15, I would hope I could snap at 20.
All right, Guinness Book of World Records. The farthest long snap of an American football is 41.5 yards. Matthew Dever on May of 2020. It says Matthew he played high school football and has always been good at long snapping. So congratulations, that's the longest according to Guinness World Records. So that record you were talking about was broken.
Instead of saying the longest long snap, the writer had to use the farthest long snap.
Yeah. So we are doing all we can to raise awareness here.
Who is your favorite long snapper of all time?
J.J. Jansen.
Well, I hate to say this because he's a Tar Heel, but Ethan Albright.
Mm-hmm.
And A, friend of the show. We talked to him like 10 years ago. I interviewed him. But B, there was a fake Ethan Albright, like, social media post, letter written to John Madden.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
And it is the funniest, and it's not for sensitive eyes. There's some strong language, and probably language you can't use in 2021. But if you don't know about, just Google Ethan Albright Madden, and somebody wrote a letter as Ethan Albright because his awareness was like a 1. And it was like, so you're basically saying I get out of bed, bump my head on the dresser, and then spit on my shirt and fall backwards out of a window. Like, it's stuff like that. It is hilarious. It's the funniest thing ever. So that would be my answer.
Mike Leach is my favorite long snapper of all time, not the Pirate Mike Leach.
Is he a Bronco guy?
Super Bowl winning long snapper.
You know him, Chandler?
No.
Wow,
that's a shot at Mike Leach.
I do not know that guy.
Robert says Tool. He was making a joke again. I guess Tool is in Washington, D.C. coming up in February or March. I don't know what he's trying to say. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Are you going? No. When's your next concert, Igoe?
I'm going. I've already got 3 on the docket this year. I've got Foo Fighters in May, Rage Against the Machine in July, and Red Hot Chili Peppers in September.
You're going to all those?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a pretty good.
Rage was supposed to be 2 years ago.
Summer of Igoe concert tour.
Yeah. Got to make up for no Carolina Rebellion / Epicenter anymore.
/ X-Fest.
/ X-Fest / Chevelle /
Do you ever miss 99X?
All the time.
I mean,
I despise the fact that it got taken away.
Yeah. And now when if my wife and daughter ride and drive my car, the radio is on 99.5 when I get in. It's like a R&B.
Yeah, it's just
rap, rock,
like a
pop
top hits.
Yeah. Sad to see.
When they announced that news, I sent a poignant email to a certain person.
Do you know what are you using that word correctly?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Poignant?
I know what word you're trying to say, but is that even the word you're trying to use?
I said
partially worded, angry letter. Poignant is
what
like.
Does poignant mean?
I think
poignant. Poignant.
But that means like a.
It says evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret. So I mean, I think it would fit that.
Bittersweet, maybe.
Okay, no, because there's no sweet to it. It was all bitter.
I was very sad and regretful as I sent that, I think.
While we're talking...
Whatever.
What
are we talking about?
I know. We'll end it here. I was devastated when they took Howard Stern off and put on Lex and Terry. Devastated.
Yeah, I mean, Lex and Terry grew on me over the years, but they were never near as good as Howard Stern.
All right. We can close off this conversation now.
Stop.
Drop.
Hammer time. Collaborate and listen.
We need a break. We need a reset. So let's do that. We'll come back. Are we going to play basketball Wednesday night, Steven? Give me a...
Are we going to play pickup basketball?
Say 75% chance, yes.
All right. I'll take that right now. After a 0% chance the last two games. I'll take 75. We will take a timeout. Chad said the long snapper diss track, when it drops, it's going to be fire. I'd love to create some long snapper beef. Let's go after State's long snapper. Find out who that is. Let's go after him.
Rough and rowdy. Let's go.
Take a time out. Come back. Have more for you after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kid store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
You can't imitate every animal in under 2 minutes. Or karate chop 100 boards. Or ride a horse coast to coast.
Yeah! Next stop, Rhode Island.
But with Domino's new Carside Delivery 2-minute guarantee, you can have a pizza headed to your car in under 2 minutes. Just order Domino's Carside Delivery and check in when you arrive. If we take longer than 2 minutes after your order is ready, your next pizza is free.
Woo! Forget Rhode Island. I'm going to Domino's.
Offer available to online carryout customers who select Domino's Carside Delivery. For full details and restrictions, visit Domino'sTwoMinuteGuarantee.com.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at CarolinaQualityAir.com.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP,
where business goes to grow.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville and right next to Sam's Club, or you can go online at qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. We are not part of the Firefly Sports Network. What's it called? Freeform Sports Network.
Playfly Sports.
Playfly Sports. Igoe, tell us all the details on that move today. East Carolina going from Learfield IMG to Playfly Sports.
I was hoping that you would be able to educate me on the addition of Playfly Sports to the ECU marketing genre.
So there's a ton of questions about it on the Hoist the Colors thread. When are you going to answer those questions?
I don't know the answer, so possibly never. I do not
talk about that earlier.
Venture into the IMG realm.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know anything about IMG. I just know that there's a partnership with the university for like marketing and for the coaches shows and all that. So now Playfly, is that right?
Yeah.
Playfly will be taking that over. I know they're up and coming in the business. I don't know if they pay ECU anything or what benefits they offer versus IMG. I don't know enough to know. There's been questions, about Jeff Charles. He's an employee of IMG. What happens there? Does Playfly just like take over all that and all the advertising spots, or do they start from scratch? So these are things that I don't know, and that's why I'm asking them to people that are listening, because maybe somebody can call in.
Somebody knows more than we do about it, for sure. All right, let's talk. Let's try to get everything in here. Let's go football first.
We discussed long snappers.
We got 2 long snappers that left, and you say potentially 3?
Yeah, Max Parker is the other long snapper that came in last year, and he has put on his Twitter profile that he is in the transfer portal.
This is insane.
But he has not popped up in the portal. Neither has Liam Crowley, but they appear to be on their way out. Because listen.
Okay, Si.
You come to a school as a long snapper or a specialist to compete for a scholarship. Once you realize you're not going to get that scholarship, why would you stay? Now, the Slade Roy situation was different because he had the scholarship. He just wanted to go to the family and play at a bigger school. And probably there were some backdoor deals done to get him to LSU. But
is that legal, illegal? Doesn't matter?
As long as, it doesn't matter. But the thing is,
can we sue LSU?
No, his kicking coach or whatever could talk to the coach at LSU and be like, hey, if player X enters the portal, will you guys hold a spot for him or something?
And Brian Kelly said, dag nabbit, I would love to have Slade Roy as part of my family. A good old boy.
He's a He sure can snap that ball. Lord have mercy.
I got you fired up for LSU K-State tonight?
Basketball?
No, football.
There's a football game tonight?
Yep.
Why is LSU and Kansas State playing a football game tonight?
Better question. Why not?
Because
all the bowls should be over. It's what is it? The Texas Bowl, something like that.
Like that's got to be the last bowl game, right before the championship.
I wish I could say there was more, but yeah, this is it.
I mean, it's just so random, though.
It is very random. It is the
and it's at 9:00
Texac Texas Bowl at NRG Stadium. K-State and LSU, Battle of the Purples.
I'm not gonna lie, I have zero desire to watch that game.
It's a great night of college basketball if you're into that. You're not much of a college basketball watcher, though, are you?
Not until later in the year.
Okay.
Usually around this time when conference play starts, I get more into it. But with like ECU has to be playing for me to actually pay attention to it.
Hey, Shirley, guess what Steven did that you haven't done? Watched Yellow Jackets.
I know.
You need to check it out. Yeah, it's fun. I think you would enjoy it too.
I'll get to it eventually.
What's tonight, entertainment-wise, like if you're not going to watch hoops or football, what are you going to do?
Probably either play my PS5 or watch Yellow Jackets.
What are you playing on PS5?
I got a couple games for Christmas. I need to start. I got Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game. And I need to start that, but I
like the movie.
Yeah, I have not played it yet. I got that and Ratchet and Clank.
Is that like an old game, or
it's like an old series, but it's a new.
Okay.
It was a new PS5 exclusive.
I broke out the PS3 and played some college football.
Dude, if I could play college football, I would be all about it.
We need to get some kind of tournament going or something.
Run that online dynasty back.
Yeah, I don't know if the mice is still running around the wheel. That internet did you have to hardwire it, or was there Wi-Fi?
Yeah, there's Wi-Fi back then.
All right. Maybe we can figure that out and get that going again. All right. Football. Here's what I wanted to do. Nolan Johnson transfers. Travion Freshwater. Portal. Who are the other key moves?
As far as out?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really anybody that's been a big surprise. The one guy who you would like to have back really was Nolan Johnson and then Slater Roy. I would classify the rest that have entered the portal as, hey, they're either so far down the depth chart where they probably need to go elsewhere to play. It was kind of a mutual decision, I would say. You've had offensive lineman Jaquez Powell from Southwest Edgecombe. He ended up entering the portal. So you had a couple 2-5-2 guys enter, which was unfortunate. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. You've had a couple other backups as well. Dre Terry, who finished his career, graduated from here. He's going to play his final year elsewhere. So, nobody super significant right now, I would say. And Nolan Johnson, he's a really good player. Probably with Malik Fleming and Jaquan McMillan come back, would have been the third corner again. He's already got his degree. He's got 2 years left. I don't blame him at all for saying, hey, I got my degree at ECU, played 4 years there. All right, let's enter the portal and try to, get some more film, get a shot somewhere else, because he's got the body and physical attributes to be a potential pro as far as getting a look. You're a 6'2" corner who can run. He's just got to play more. And unfortunately for ECU, or fortunately, they have two really good corners in Malik Fleming and J-Mac.
What was I going to say? You sidetracked me because I was going to ask, who do you blame for entering the portal these days? It's just a way of life.
Yeah, it's just part of college football now.
All right, we'll move on to basketball before I remember think about the football thought that I had. We think we're going to play tomorrow. Joe Dooley, I asked him earlier, didn't get into specifics if they would be fully stocked if they did play a game, and he said no. He said they were hoping to maybe add a couple of guys to be able to practice today, and it sounds like they haven't done much team practice here lately, Igoe, so who knows what they're going to look like when they get back on the court. I will say, maybe I'll put a positive spin on it. Tulane was not playing very well, went into a 2-week hiatus where they missed 2 or 3 games because of COVID. Came out, they've won 2 in a row against Memphis and Cincinnati. So maybe it can be a positive, but Joe Dooley did say he was a little worried about rust and conditioning if they do indeed return to the court Wednesday night.
Yeah, you have to be concerned, especially with the way ECU practices and Coach Dooley puts a lot of emphasis on practice. Not that other coaches don't, but just having been around practice, I mean, he's one of those who believes you play like you practice. So for them not to practice really at all in a full team fashion since this pause started, they got a little bit of work in yesterday, got a little bit more today. Typically, that's not conducive to playing at your best, but basketball is a funny sport. Maybe you just go out there and have the hot hand from sitting around and kind of taking some time off, and you just never know. Tulane, maybe they're riding high coming off 2 big wins.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost feels like they're due for a letdown.
Definitely.
So I'll be very interested to see what the line is on this game. Is there one out yet?
No, and I was thinking you got to make Tulane a favorite.
I would think so, but I would take
Tulane
ECU.
minus like 2.5 or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with. I do remember my football question now. So we've seen players transfer and enter the portal like after spring ball, right?
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Right. So like just because somebody hasn't transferred now doesn't mean it won't happen. But it is somewhat notable that there are no quarterbacks in the portal for ECU right now, right?
Yeah, I think that's notable. I think when the semester starts, I think you'll still see a couple more guys trickle out this next week or so. When the semester starts and it's fully fledged and is underway, I think at that point the guys who are in the program are going to go through spring practice, see where they stand, and then you're going to have another wave across the country
after spring
ball, because guys are going to say, hey, I'm going to go into spring ball, I'm trying to get to this spot on the depth chart. If not, I'm going to leave and take my chances elsewhere. So you'll see ECU probably lose some players. You'll probably see ECU gain some players in that wave. I mean, that's just part of everybody's going to do it. That's part of college football now. There's almost like 2 free agency periods after the season, going into the spring semester, and then after spring ball, going into the summer.
Josh says we should start a rock station in Greenville, Pirate Rock.
I mean, that would be pretty awesome.
Maybe it could be a subsidiary of Pirate Radio.
Yeah.
Igoe could be the station manager / DJ. I used to call the 99X DJs when I would be like in the tractor working with my dad, listen to the radio. There used to be
Blando.
See, it was a little before that. I actually worked with Blando at WZMB.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew Blando.
What is Blando up to these days?
I don't know that. But these were 2 guys. One was a Dolphins fan, one was a Redskins fan. And I remember they'd talk about football a little bit. And I'd call on Mondays and make a football comment and then request like the latest 3 Doors Down song or whatever.
The latest hit from Breaking Benjamin.
Exactly. So good times, good memories. They need to bring those back, Igoe.
Oh, man.
That could be your second life, man. You've got a radio background, a rock background. Once you're done hoisting the colors, that you get out of athletics and you get into rock and roll radio, have your own station. That'd be awesome. You could put on Igoe Fest.
Igoe Fest. Wow.
It's already got a cool name.
There might be some potential there, honestly.
And you just bring back all the old bands you like, and they'd be old and like
Chevelle,
barely playing anymore.
Breaking Benjamin. I just bring back all the early 2000 hits.
Yeah. This is all of a sudden a fantastic idea, Josh. And I am fully on.
So who's going to pay for it?
All your Hoist the Colors millions, bro.
If I'm making millions, I would like to see it.
You will one day. You're investing it. You know.
When ECU gets to the SEC.
Speaking of that, this is kind of unrelated to that, but I was thinking about Luke Fickell and what is his long-term future at Cincinnati.
How does this relate to East Carolina, to the Southeastern Conference?
It's related to a school going to another conference. I thought about, what's the precedent for a guy like Fickell staying at Cincinnati? And my thought was Gary Patterson. TCU got the bump.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. But made a career there, stayed there, got into the Big 12. He was there pre-Big 12, right?
Yes.
And do you think that is a possibility for Fickell? I mean, we just had a pretty intense coaching cycle, and there wasn't too much Fickell talk, was there?
Fickell talk.
And was that on his end or teams not wanting him? I can't imagine teams not wanting him.
Yeah, I think it's just he's happy at Cincinnati, and the only job he really wants to leave for is Ohio State.
Right.
And so until that comes available, if it does, I think he would 100% bowl for that. But
now, we did say the only job Lincoln Riley's going to go to is Dallas Cowboys. Right. And he goes to USC. So this could change.
It definitely is subject to change because in every coaching situation, it's just you reach a point where it becomes stale. Like you hit that ceiling and you can't get like Lincoln Riley. I think probably felt like the ceiling for OU was making the college football playoff, and now that they're going to the SEC, he's not dumb. He sees, hey man, like things are going to get a lot tougher. We're going from playing, Baylor and Iowa State to Alabama, Auburn. Like that's just such a jump up in competition on a weekly basis. And he made a smart move, in my opinion. And I think every coaching situation, you kind of reach that point where you plateau a little bit based on the situation and the resources. The fan base kind of gets tired of it. Like I feel like Dave Doran and NC State are kind of there, even though he keeps winning enough to
8-4, 9-3.
But their fan base is
he shouldn't be fired.
He shouldn't be.
But
if he loses to ECU in next year's opener, he'll be on the hot seat.
It's like you said, his head is right up against that ceiling.
Yep. So I feel like that could eventually happen with Luke Fickell to bring it back to a point. But I also feel like Cincinnati fans have to have a pretty realistic expectation going to the Big 12, knowing they're not going to just show up and make the playoff every year.
I'm wondering what would you put them at right now in the Big 12? Middle.
I mean,
think about it when they get there.
Take Texas and Oklahoma out. I mean, who's ahead of them? Oklahoma State, maybe? Baylor, but how long is Aranda going to be there?
Yeah, good question. I don't know. There aren't too many dynasties going right now in college football. Of course, Alabama, Dabo. And I'm interested to see, does he get back to where they were, or have we seen the best of Clemson?
We need to talk about, did you see what South Florida did today?
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up. They gave extensions to
everybody.
Scott and Gregory. Those are two last names, not first names. Brian Gregory and Jeff Scott. They're basketball and football coaches.
I want to say they gave it to, their entire athletic department. Here, I'm pulling it up real quick.
They're just look, we're going to keep things the same around here.
Which I kind of respect the move, but I also kind of question it just because, let's see, USF sends sweeping round of extensions. All 14 of South Florida's head coaches, including football coach Jeff Scott and men's basketball coach Brian Gregory, have been extended until at least 2023. And Jeff Scott extended through 26-27, which...
In lieu of Christmas bonuses, we're going to do extensions.
Jeff Scott has beaten one FBS team in 2 years at South Florida, and he got a 2-year extension.
I hope that wasn't us.
He's 0-2 against ECU,
all right,
so
good.
He beat Tulsa. I will say, though, I do kind of like the fact that, hey, you're looking at it from, if you're trying to really rebuild a program, how fair is it to ask a coach to do that in a pandemic in his first year? And then coming off that year, really to make a fair evaluation. But at the same time, it is a risky move. He's 3-18. He's beaten one FBS team. If they're terrible again next year after all these transfer moves, then what do you do?
Great question and interesting story out of Tampa. Let's get Mitchell from Winston-Salem. We got to get a break in and say goodbye to Igoe, but he has a question for Igoe. Hello, Mitchell.
Hey, guys. Can y'all quickly do a rundown of the 8 conference teams we're going to play next year in football and kind of give me an idea, are they losing a lot or not losing a lot at all?
Okay. Do we have that information, Igoe?
We don't have an official schedule from the American.
Do we have the opponents?
We do not, but we can assume based upon the Americans' history that it'll just be reversed in terms of home and away, because ECU just added Memphis and Houston to the schedule, and they took away SMU and Tulsa. So it should be the same 8 teams as far as that goes.
All right. Well, looking at it very quickly then, let's say Tulane. We should beat Tulane, right? They still have their quarterback.
ECU will be favored in that game, but after 2 straight trips to Greenville, ECU should have to go to New Orleans. Pratt should be back, even though there were some questionable things done on offense as the year went on. I haven't seen if their OC is going to be back.
Not to pull a Ronnie Woodward, I'm not scared of Tulane anymore.
I mean, that's fair. They had a down year there. We'll see.
They had a weird year for Fritz.
They had a lot of
really
injuries.
good. UCF, Dylan Gabriel has gone to like 8 different schools since he left UCF.
Yeah.
Ends up in, what, Boomer Sooner? Oklahoma?
Yeah, pretty weak character to quit on UCF, then go to UCLA, and then back out on that the day of classes.
All right. I don't know. Do they still have a stable of QBs? They did at one point.
I think the Mikey King kid is going to be pretty good. They'll probably bring in a transfer. They'll be good again. They're bringing in a lot of transfers. But again,
I like our chances.
You're playing at home. I think that's a toss-up.
Houston
should be really good. Clayton Tune should be back. That running back, the McCaskill kid, is just a freshman. Their receiver, Nathaniel Dell, I'm not sure what his status is, but a lot of their defense is back. Houston, I think, will be one of the conference favorites, but they have to come to Greenville.
South Florida, not worried about the Bulls too
South
much.
Florida, again, ton of transfers. They'll basically have half a new team next year. They do have that young quarterback who did not play against ECU this year, who I think has a bright future. So I think they'll be much improved, and you have to go on the road.
Temple, a complete mess, new coach. You do have to play them on the road, but, man, they are in a rough spot right now.
Yeah, Temple, I don't really know what to make of them. First-time head coach from a running backs coach, I believe, Coach Drayton. Their quarterback, Mathis, entered the portal. Like, I don't even know what their roster will look like next year.
Memphis at ECU sounds like a really fun football game.
Yeah, that should be a good game. And Hennigan, their freshman quarterback, will be back. They also had a transfer quarterback from Arizona miss the entire year due to an injury, who was pretty good at Arizona. So I could see them being good next year, being a top half of the American team, but not 100% sold on their coach, Silverfield, although he did just bring in a new DC, and they had some problems on defense, as evidenced by their inability to stop the Pirates on third down.
I'm already scared to play Navy next year.
Yeah.
Here at home. It doesn't matter if it's home or away. It's the same game.
Doesn't matter where it is. I think their quarterback will be back. He was a junior this year. And
they got better as the year went on. They beat Army.
They had the 3rd toughest schedule in America. So I think they'll be much improved.
I hope we see them, most of our September schedule is done. I hope we see them like the first conference game instead at the end of the year.
So there's the only way ECU could play a game on the 24th is if they play Navy. Otherwise, it'll be a bye.
All right. Let's make that game.
But that would make for 4 straight home games if Navy plays at ECU.
And then Cincinnati. Interested to see what they look like next year without Ritter. They're going to lose a lot.
I mean, they're basically their entire starting lineup almost. I mean, those 2 corners, that ridiculous linebacker.
That's
Beavers.
why I feel like it was a good time for Fickle to get out.
Yeah, Majay Sanders, Ritter, the running back Jerome Ford. I don't know if he's going pro. I would assume so.
Gardner is going pro.
The receivers. So I mean, they're gonna have to restock. Now they have recruited extremely well the next 2 years, but I mean, you look at that schedule. I think ECU's favored in the majority of those games.
It's amazing how much difference a year makes, because it is so good to look at a schedule and see W's beside Tulane, Temple, on the road at Memphis, of course Navy. Like, you just get over all those issues you have with those teams.
Yeah.
Of course, you beat Temple the previous year, but put a beat down on them this year. So
Major
you're right.
Step forward. You should be favored against Old Dominion and Campbell in non-conference, but then you play NC State and BYU. And those are probably 2 games you're an underdog in.
There's a lot of time between now and September. I want to do, and maybe we could do it when we do our position previews, but I'd love to break down the quarterbacks for these teams. It seems like we know a lot of them just going through the list with you there.
Yeah, I would.
For the most part.
I would assume, as we go through that list, basically everybody should be back.
Outside of Ritter.
And the Memphis situation could change, and then Temple, I don't know what their quarterback situation will be.
Good stuff. What's going on at Hoist the Colors?
Lots of good good recruiting stuff. There's a couple of recruits on campus this week, and we've got an article with one of those guys up on hoistedcolors.net.
We do a lot of recruiting, Igoe, but now, and this is not new necessarily, but probably ever growing for you, where ECU stands with offered players in the portal, 10 edge rushers in the portal. Yeah. You're looking at the portal like you're looking at high school kids at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to try and sift through like some of that stuff, and I don't know how the coaches do it, because you look at each guy's situation, they're all different. You're like, this guy should be better than what he was. Why didn't he play more? Why wasn't he more productive? So, and all of them enter the portal for a reason, and many of them are different reasons. So you really have to do your homework to make sure you're getting a quality addition. But we also had a bunch of coverage over the New Year's. There's a coaching change on Coach Houston's staff we talked about in VIP. So lots of good stuff on Hoisted Colors for our subscribers.
Igoe, Happy New Year. Thanks for hanging out.
Happy New Year, Clip. What's your New Year's resolution?
To make Igoe Fest a thing.
Okay. All right, well, good luck with that.
All right, I'll let you know how I do. All right, let's, Shirley, do we have a giveaway today? All right, we got a giveaway. Let's open up the booty bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250 will make you a winner right now. Shirley, what are we giving away today?
A large 2-topping pizza, courtessy of Domino's.
All right, sounds like a plan. Great night for a pizza pie from Domino's. What caller are you looking for?
Let's go with caller number...
Boy, I've
10.
never asked you a tougher question. Caller 10?
Caller 10.
Caller 10. 317-1250. We'll be back. More to go. Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2022 Buick Encore GX. Save up to $1,250 off, or 1.9% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and made-from-scratch pastas. Check out the 16-ounce cowboy steak and our seafood delight pasta. The Rick House is open for lunch daily from 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Take a break from your workday with lunch at the Rick House. Join us for our legendary brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road, beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly. Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
Pirate Radio.
Pirate Radio.
Pirate Radio. Funky dope.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a quick look at your stock market report for today. The Dow was up 214 points and closed at 36,799. NASDAQ, however, fell 210 points at 15,622, and the S&P was down 3 at 4,793. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. And congratulations to Todd Harris of Winterville. Picked up a large 2-topping pizza courtesy of Domino's. Domino's has 3 locations to take care of you. Every day, all 3 topping pizzas are only $7.99 each for carry-out only. Order online today at Domino's.com. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All righty. We really need a game. We need a game to recap, look at, watch, talk about. Wednesday, it'll be another day of previewing a game that we hope is played Wednesday night in Minges Coliseum as the Fighting Corey Glores of Tulane take on ECU, and we are scheduled to talk to Corey Glore coming up in our first hour on Wednesday's show.
Nice.
As he will be back in Greenville, North Carolina.
Hello.
1-0.
They all know.
They all know.
Can he make it to trivia afterwards?
That is a great question, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they leave right after the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
But if he is still around, we'd love to have him at AJ's late night. Our plan is to start trivia. We'll do a power hour at about 9:15 after the ECU game. So we want everybody to go to Minges and then head over to AJ's for some fun, a post-game trivia battle, and we'll have a good night coming up on Wednesday night. Looking forward to that. Good night of college basketball tonight as we take a look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by DeBuck. There is a football game, LSU, Kansas State. Shirley, fire up 40 bowls in 14 days.
Oh, God, I don't even have it ready.
All right, Chandler and I can sing it.
Okay.
Fast version.
40 bowls in 14 days, 14 days, 14 days, 40 bowls in 14 days, oh my goodness. 40 bowls in 14 days, 14 days, 14 days, 40 bowls in 14 days, 14 days. 40 bowls, 14 days, 40 bowls, 14 days.
All right, well done, Chandler. LSU taking on Kansas State in the TaxAct Texas Bowl. K-State, 7.5-point favorite. LSU undermanned. This is tough because what's the most important thing in life?
The long snapper.
What's the second most important thing in life? Family.
Family.
Oh.
And Brian Kelly I don't think he's going to be on the sidelines tonight, right?
He's down some family members.
They're going to be without the head of the family, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to win this game without him.
He's the daddy of the family.
Daddy's gone. Daddy went to go get cigarettes. He'll be back in 10 minutes, he said.
Oh, wow.
Mercy. So K-State, the pick tonight. I'm making my own pick in 40 balls in 14 days. For the first time ever, I'm in. All right. That music means we're out of time, right?
Yes, we are.
You're playing me off.
Great job by Shirley Rhodes on the intro and outro music for the show. That is
good point. We hadn't mentioned that. Love it, Shirley.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you.
And the beginning is I'm gonna laugh every day because it's Malcolm.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
I mean, that's
can't ask for a better intro than that.
Never
really.
gonna get old to me. So,
do you mind adding Ric Flair?
Woo! Yeah, at some point.
We'll see you Wednesday, 3 o'clock on an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning in today. For Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, CJ Schaefer, I'm Clip Brock. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio,